time to Kincade and Salciunas is on the air. Broadcasting live on the Fanatic app and YouTube channel. Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful start to the day. It's a Friday morning. It's nice out. The Phillies aren't playing. Last night wasn't fun. Phillies lose to the Mets last night. Johnny, 6-4.
It started out so well, too.
Aaron Nola settled in, but early on, Juan Soto was like, yeah, I'm going to hit a home run right away. And then he gives up another run early on.
Now, Soto's been hot.
Yeah,
He's been hitting everybody right now, so
Aaron Nola,
at least there's that.
final line yesterday, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a walk. So he settles in after giving up the 2 early runs, which, credit to him for doing that. But it's just another day where back-to-back days, you're watching the starting pitcher just getting rocked in the first inning. Like we saw it with Andrew Painter against the Marlins in the first inning of that baseball game. He finishes only 2 innings before he gets sent down to AAA. And then Nola last night, it's not like if I told you that was his line, you'd say, all right, that's not bad. But then you remember the name, which means you remember the contract, which means you're not getting what you're paying for. And, oh, by the way, this is the day after your bullpen got taxed
and
because Andrew Painter only
matter.
went 2 innings. It absolutely matters.
The context does matter with Aaron Nola. It doesn't it's not like you should say, well, it wasn't that bad an outing. It does matter. And a veteran has to pick up a team after what you went through the day before.
Yeah. And he didn't totally do that. Now, again, credit to him. He settled in. And
he battled.
Phillies make it a ball game. And then Jose Alvarado, who's just having a really bad season. He gives up 3 runs yesterday.
Josepic is atrocious.
It's been bad. He had a couple of straight outings where you're like, all right, maybe he figured something out. He had 3 straight outings where he did not allow a run. He was striking everybody out. Like, he kind of looked like the old Jose Alvarado. And then the Brewers game happens, and then the Mets game happens last night, and he loses. Like, you lost the game
because of him.
Because of him yesterday.
Well, yeah.
I can't come on here and just vitriol toward Aaron Nola.
No.
Aaron Nola settles in. The Phillies bats come to life. They make it a ball game, and then Alvarado falls apart. And look, is it the end of the world they lost to the Mets yesterday? Yes. I freaking hate them.
Well, we know that the one thing we do know is that Alvarado, if he's not cheating, we know now he's not good. He's not cheating. He's not good.
So was he always cheating? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's just not good. No, he's not. He needed to cheat to be good, and he's he knew. And the thing is, he told us that by his cheating, he told us.
I mean, he's still throwing 99.
Yeah, but he's not good. But he's not good. Yeah, you can throw it, and it can end up in the stands, or it can end up banging into the corner. Yeah, that's great.
I don't think the PEDs was spotting the pitch as well.
Yeah, he really doesn't do a good job.
If there's a drug for that, I would have taken it a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. Then, now you're Maddox.
Yeah, he's out of his mind.
But the Phillies lose yesterday, and a very interesting thing that Connor said earlier this week that we're going to talk about today, and it's something we touched on it quickly yesterday, but there was just we had like 75 topics yesterday.
We had a million things going on, didn't we?
Today we're a little bit, one-way street here today. We got a couple things that we'll get into.
Sure.
But Connor, you mentioned that the Phillies are potentially stuck earlier this week, and it's been something that's been on John's mind pretty much all week long. It
bothered me.
Like I think you lost sleep over it.
No, I did. It bothered me all week, the stuck word, because it's a bad word.
Yeah, it's not great to hear, and I want to play something for you. Jason Stark was on with our friends on Unfiltered yesterday. You'll hear from Jason a couple of times today because he talked about Andrew Painter and him getting sent down and how long it might take for him to come back up. But they got into a very interesting conversation of, look, the Phillies have kind of the best record in baseball since when, or one of the best records?
Second best since Don Mattingly took over.
All right, and so that's going back quite some time now, right?
It is.
That's the month of April. We're here in June now, and the Phillies have the second best record since then. Can't take that away from them, but we also know how the games have gone. A lot of the wins have been by the skin of their teeth. 2-1 wins, 3-2 wins. The question about sustainability has come up a lot, and we all know, whatever year it is, it's the same freaking thing. What do they need at the deadline? Well, they need a right-handed bat. They probably need a back end of the rotation starter. They might need another arm in the bullpen. That's 3 things that they need, again, year in, year out. So Jason Stark was asked, hey, where are the Phillies? Record-wise, they're playing a lot better baseball compared to teams like the Dodgers, the Braves,
Yes.
and the Brewers. And this was Jason Stark's response.
They're not as good as those teams. I think that's accurate. The thing to remember is they do have a win the World Series rotation. And if you really look at the bullpen from 30,000 feet, they're the best strikeout walk ratio in the big leagues, of any bullpen in the big leagues. And there's been a lot of depth. It feels like, especially with Duran, between the rotation and the bullpen, it's something to build a playoff run around. When they tried to sign Bo Bichette all those months ago, they were telling us what they were and what they were missing. They're a bat short. They knew it. They went into the season knowing it. They were thinking even on opening day, when we get to July, we can address it. And now, to be the kind of team Dodgers are and the Brewers are and the Braves are, well, let's face it, they have no choice but to address it. But with that rotation, there's still the opportunity to get to October and win. Like, we're seeing the flaws on their roster now. What matters is, what's the roster in October, assuming that you get to October? That's the question. That's the only question worth asking between now and the deadline and now and the end of the season.
So here's the
Yeah,
thing, Jason. And I love Jason Stark. You know that.
we do.
He's the Hall of Famer. He's the best.
He's
right?
got a plaque, dude.
Yeah, he's pretty freaking amazing. So he talks about how they have a win the World Series like rotation. Nobody's disputing that. Nobody's arguing that. Sanchez, Wheeler, Luzardo, you're like, yeah, let's go. He talks about the strikeout to walk ratio in the bullpen.
Which I will dispel for you in a moment.
But a lot of that's, Duran and the dude's been
Right.
a freaking beast. And so, yeah, all right, come deadline time, you're looking to acquire probably another bullpen arm. But he talks about how they wanted to address that right-handed bat. And then that they should address it come July, because it's all about what the roster looks like in October. Who are they addressing it with is what we will always come back to. And with is twofold. With is, who are you giving up? And with is, who's available? Because really, there's not great options that are available.
And
Byron Buxton's already saying, no. I love Minnesota.
And
I love the winters here.
He shut it down again yesterday. It's done. Byron Buxton's done. Take it off the list.
Trout
he said
hurt
it again. Oh,
You
that's
know?
shocking. It's amazing. His body breaks down on him every year. It's amazing. It's crazy. The whole I understand Jason Stark. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
And I hear the Phillies bullpen has the best strikeout to walk ratio in the National League. That's amazing. You know whose bullpen's better than the Phillies in the National League? The Braves have the second best bullpen. The Dodgers have the fourth best bullpen. The Brewers have the eighth. And this is all of baseball. The Phillies have the 12th. Like, we can talk about strikeout to walk ratio. That's great. That's cherry picking a stat. The Brewers, Dodgers, and the Braves have better bullpens by far than the Phillies do. So, I mean, it's like, I don't care about strikeout to walk ratio. Their bullpens are better. So already their teams are better. Their bullpens are better. The Phillies don't have a bullpen advantage.
No,
one of those teams.
and here's why. Duran, we all agree. If you're saying
He's amazing.
pick the closer,
He's amazing.
You win. Phillies win. But Brad Keller not pitching the way you hoped he would. I know he's on the IL now, but Brad Keller was not the guy that you thought you got signing. Hopefully he turns that around. Jose Alvarado is not the guy he's supposed to be. Your 7, 8, 9, the stuff that we talked about this entire offseason, and we can be wrong at times, was how great they were going to be 7, 8, 9. Whether it's Alvarado 7, Brad Keller 8, Duran 9, or you reverse the two. You flip the two. Keller 7, Alvarado 8, Duran 9. And we were saying, man, the starting pitching that is so good, because it is, only has to give you 6.
Amazing.
I only need 6 out of Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo. I feel great. And then I got 7, 8, 9 with those 3 guys. Unfortunately, 2/3 of them haven't been good this year.
And I just sent you, we talked about it yesterday, that Luzardo, it's 10 starts where 2.92 is his ERA, Luzardo. Over 10 starts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fantastic.
Amazing.
So he's been digging himself out of the hole of a few bad starts early, and it's been really, really good. So it's that's your 3 starter. I would challenge you to believe there are going to be teams that go to the playoffs that maybe their one starter or their two starter is not that good.
And that's why you can't say this team has no chance. But it also adds to my frustration every single year that they are wasting, could potentially.
They haven't done it yet. Didn't waste it yet.
Could potentially waste the best rotation going into the playoffs for the third straight year. I mean, think about it. Even before Luzardo, you had Ranger Suarez and Zach Wheeler, and this was when still Nola was a guy that you felt comfortable with in big games. Then you go to the next year where it's Wheeler and Sanchez shows who he is. And then you also have Ranger Suarez. Now it's this year. But if they come up short again, it's another year where you're going, man, the starting pitching's been great. And Dave Dombrowski and the Philadelphia Phillies organization failed to add to it. And I'm not saying add to the rotation.
Yep.
It's the guys that hit the baseball and score the runs. Now, Connor, when you say they're stuck, it almost sounded like you were comparing them to another team in town.
Absolutely. They're so much in the same spot as the Sixers. Like, it's scary how accurate that comparison between them are.
That's scary.
Now, the difference is the Phillies and this core has shown us more in the postseason.
Sure.
They played in the World Series. They played in the Championship Series. Like, that is something that's different. So you can believe more that they'll get there. But with the guys you have, you can't move any of the contracts. Anything that you do outside of the big contracts is a fringe move that we're seeing. Hey, fringe guys don't really win you the World Series anymore. They don't. With where the trade deadline is, the expanded playoffs, and how fewer teams are selling, it's less and less regular to see a team make a trade deadline acquisition for Harrison Bader, for example. Now, I know he got hurt. Harrison Bader was not a guy that's just like, oh, well, now they're a World Series team. He was a guy that you can get something out of that could raise the floor.
Yeah.
You just don't have enough runway to make this plane take off.
Yeah, and look, that's why we're having these conversations of prospects. Should they trade top guys or not? Because your runway to take off is also pretty thin, like your runway to land.
Plus, who do you?
You don't have much time left. Like the window is open.
Plus, who are the prospects that you have?
Yeah, you got Gage Wood.
You don't
right?
have like Gage Wood, and Gage Wood is talked about obsessively here. He's not being talked about obsessively around baseball. He's being talked about well. He's not being talked about like Painter was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, where Painter is all over. So, I mean, this is really a tough spot to be in. But I hate your wording, Connor. I hate thinking that they're stuck.
What do you want me to do?
No.
I can't unstick them.
No, honestly, I think your wording is completely accurate. But it sort of pisses me off as a fan.
You know what it is, though? So imagine you're a passenger on a plane. Kind of a dark example here. And the engine blows or whatever. And next thing you know, it's just like, oh, no, we're going down. Bottom line is you have two reactions you could do. You could sit in the seat and you can lose your mind the whole way down. Or you could sit there and you can just be like, hey, listen, we are where we are. Maybe we'll land on the Hudson River. Like Sully.
Sully did.
Maybe.
But I'm not in control of this, and the fan base isn't either. And at some point, you got to realize
and
we're strapped in for
the
the ride.
The man that is in control of it has disappointed me every single year. It's why I've been saying he's been living off his resume since 2023. That's Dave Dombrowski.
I don't think that anybody can debate that in good faith right now.
Yeah. I mean, what's been the move? Duran, I'll give him. What's been the move where you're like, wow, that was great. All right, Luzardo.
Yeah, but what he's done is he's wallet whipped people.
I like Estevez, but you didn't re-sign him, and then you let Hoffman walk too.
Yeah,
like,
I mean
that was stupid.
Yeah, he ruined his really good bullpen.
It was stupid.
He's been confusing to me, Dave Dombrowski, because I'm not denying that the guy has baseball acumen, and I'm not denying that the guy has been extremely successul, but his tenure here in Philadelphia has been a major disappointment.
And here's where I'm worried, is the fact that it is to me, a guy who is at the end of his career and a guy who doesn't give a damn about us going out the door. And I'm not saying Dave Dombrowski's a bad man or anything. But what I'm saying to you is he doesn't give a damn about us on the way out the door.
If he doesn't win in Philadelphia, he will sleep very well.
He's going to Franklin, Tennessee, and he's going to have a great life.
He'll be fine.
And he'll be just fine. And he is going to, but much like what is the idea of what Daryl Morey out the door, didn't care. Daryl Morey didn't care about Sixers fans 5 years from now.
No, he's trying to win.
Daryl Morey's
the
trying to
here
win
and
for
now.
his
Yeah.
reputation.
Right.
For his. That's it. That's all he cares about.
Yeah. So are the Phillies stuck where you're kind of just staring at them and you're going, this is who they are? And I just have to hope that this time it'll be different, because if you think there are options out there to improve this baseball team, we'd love to hear the ideas and who you're giving up. 610-632-0975. And stuck isn't just for 2026. Stuck is moving forward. There might not be baseball next year. We'll tell you why. But stuck is also moving forward. We talk about contracts all the time, farm system all the time. The window's open. The window will be open in 2 years. I'm telling you right now, with this rotation, the championship window will be open in 2028. But the question will, once again, be, do the bats come to life and do they acquire a right-handed outfielder? That's not Adolis Garcia.
So you mean, are we stuck in some sort of a universe?
This is who they are.
Where you're just, I think it's what I've said. It's not a bright, there's no bright future.
But I can tell you every year that they have a chance. Like, that's the conundrum that we're in. Like, they are World Series contenders.
And I think that's coming to an end.
Hopefully not for
because
another
it's
couple
old.
of years.
It's old. They're old, and you got a lockout coming, and it's not good.
No, it's not a great spot right now. All right, Eagles. There is an Eagles topic to discuss. Albert Breer yesterday, Sports Illustrated, been covering the NFL for a long time, did a mailbag of questions that his listeners and readers sent in. And one of them was about Jalen Carter. Hey, what's the deal with Jalen Carter's contract? A couple of weeks ago or last week, I know you and Bill had the back and forth among shows.
Bill had a little more yesterday where he's like that the Eagles have all the leverage.
Yes.
The Eagles have all the control and all the leverage and everything. And on paper, they do. I don't believe the Eagles are conducting themselves like that, though.
Albert Breer is asked what's the deal with Jalen Carter, and this is what he wrote. The fact that we're into June without Jalen Carter having a deal is notable, and I'd guess if they do one now before his fourth season as a pro, then it'd come with flexibility for the team. If Carter won't give them that flexibility now, maybe he'll just wait another year, which would make this a little like the George Pickens situation in Dallas, where a team might want to see a little more from a player just from a character perspective before committing long term. This is, I'm okay with them taking their time, both parties. You know, Jalen Carter, he's going to try to get his, and the Eagles, this is going to be, if everything goes as planned, what, the highest paid defensive tackle in the National Football League?
When he gets his contract, he probably will be, because a lot of people, they're paying more ends.
Yeah.
So he'll set the market until somebody else sets the market.
So I'm okay with the Eagles taking their time, but again, for people like Bill to think that this might just be like glossed over, it will be fine.
No, it's ridiculous to take it. It is ridiculous, and Adam Schefter, the same thing. It's not something that it's very different than the Eagles have all the leverage and everything like that. Is honestly absurd, because the Eagles can't afford to have an unhappy Jalen Carter, because he's already shown that sometimes he's a little distracted. Yeah, and they don't need that. They don't want that. And more importantly, they're dealing with an agent that can make things
big time.
Let's just say
a big time.
Yeah, they're not dealing with some jabroni that they can push around. This is going to be this can end up being a circus, and they don't want a circus.
So Jalen Carter, for those of you guys who are wondering, he's got his fifth-year option is next year, which they already picked up. And
correct.
He's going to get paid handsomely. Like, I think it's $21 million next year.
Club.
So he's getting paid a lot of money. What Bill Colarulo was saying yesterday in terms of the leverage standpoint, they already have his fifth-year option next year, and even though the Eagles never do it, I want to make that very clear, they never do it, they do have the ability to place the franchise tag on him if need be. So they do have time. There is leverage, but wasn't A.J. Brown under contract for a couple of years?
Correct. The Eagles do not.
You know what I mean? Like,
painting it that the Eagles have leverage here is honestly, it's absurd.
Howie Roseman said how many times A.J. Brown's an Eagle?
Correct.
Until he wasn't.
There's no such thing as the Eagles having leverage.
I don't think we're heading in that direction. I don't. I think ultimately Jalen Carter, they get something done, and Jalen Carter's here. But I do think this is going to go on for a long time.
A long time? I don't think it's going to be a long time, but I think you guys, I think we're going to be talking about it till the day I leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
I think we're going to be, you guys will be talking about it after I'm gone. So you're going to be talking about it in August.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's something you do not want. They do not want this. This is something where you remember when they were talking about it down in Dallas, and I do not believe that they want to, I don't think they're considering trading Jalen Carter or anything like that. But they don't want to be, I think, talking about it where is he doing a full training camp? I think they want him having a full training camp because what have they learned? His conditioning's been an issue.
Well,
over time.
Here's a response from one of our great listeners, our man MBD on our YouTube chat this morning. Hear me out. I got a crazy idea.
What's that?
If you want to get paid, show up in shape and don't spit on people and get ejected.
I love NBD's thought process there.
So
unfortunately, the Eagles do not have the leverage here. That's a great thought process. That should be met with his tweet. I mean, his text.
Yeah.
In the YouTube chat should be met with a standing ovation by all reasonable working people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not the sandbox they play in.
Right. But
it should be reasonable.
All right, here's a question for Eagles fans today at 610-632-0975. Are you okay if the Eagles mess around with this a little bit? Like, hear his name in trade talks. Take their time paying Jalen Carter. It could get messy because to MBD's point, and this is not, those are just two instances. Jalen Carter's not, how do I put this?
Okay, go on.
He's not the cleanest, right? Like
no, he's not. No.
There's been issues on the field numerous times.
This?
He's been benched by the Eagles.
Do you consider? I do consider Jalen Carter's issues to be character issues.
Yeah,
but I do not consider them to be character issues of bad guy.
Right.
I consider them though to be character issues.
And the character
if I'm paying you well, to do a job, and you're half-assing it, then that sucks.
All right,
that sucks.
Here's how I'll spin it. Here's how I'll word it. Are you a lock-up Jalen Carter regardless? Like, whatever. You don't care. It's just sign the guy right now. Pay him top dollar right now. Or are you okay if they got to see how this goes? Because there have been problems in the past with Jalen Carter.
There have been.
610-632-0975. I'd pay him, by the way.
I would, too.
He's that good. Like,
I would, too.
Just for the record, Philly media.
No, I want to pay him. I want to pay him. I want to pay him today.
Lock him up. He's really good.
Lock him up.
All right, coming up next, Dave Dombrowski. You know he spoke to the media yesterday?
Yeah, I heard it.
Believe it or not, everything's good.
Yeah, it's great.
He talked about Andrew Painter. He also said something that, once again, made me shake my head. We get into that next here on The Fanatic.
Hey, I can tell you this, that if you want your downtime to be fun time, you don't want any downtime this afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'm even going to tell you, don't watch General Hospital today. DVR it, because USA's playing today. USA, Australia. Get your BetParx online casino and sportsbook app out, though, and place a little wager on it. You can do it. You can bet all the matches, all of the individual performances, and you can also play their new hot soccer-themed online slots game. Goal, goal, goal. Collect them. It's fun. Play real casino games for real money, too. You want to play a little blackjack? You can. You can live bet Philadelphia baseball. You can be in on all of the matches of the World Soccer Tournament. And right now, new online casino users can get up to $500 in casino bonus back in your first 24 hours. The BetParx online casino and sportsbook app makes it so easy to stay involved in all the matches. There's always another way to win. You got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Michigan, or Maryland. I'm going to miss this app. New users only. Terms and conditions apply. See BetParx.com for details. And by the way, the Parx Casino, there's no place better to watch all the matches, too. The casino bonus has got to be wagered, so check out all the details. Should you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's fall to the Mets. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped game one to the Mets 6-4 last night. Juan Soto homering twice for New York in the game. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs in relief out of the pen as his rough season continues. And Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. It's his second time in about a week leaving the game after being hit by a pitch. Don Mattingly talked about Turner after the game.
Well, they're calling it calf contusion towards the bottom where it starts getting in the Achilles. He was having trouble putting pressure, pushing off. Hopefully he'll be day off tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be good by the night game. We'll see.
So we'll keep an eye on Turner's status as the Mets series continues. As you heard Don Mattingly say, the Phillies have the day off today to make room for the World Cup match in South Philadelphia. Christopher Sanchez will go tomorrow, Wheeler in Game 3. Speaking of the World Cup, Brazil takes on Haiti tonight at 8:30 p.m. in South Philadelphia. Team USA faces Australia at 3 p.m. That game's out in Seattle. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers still looking at what to do with pick number 22. The NHL draft starts next Friday night. And the U.S. Open's ongoing from Shinnecock. Wyndham Clark leads the U.S. Open at 6 under. Amy Fadul will join us from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 9 a.m. and Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad talks some World Cup with us at 9:30. This update is brought to you by Philadelphia Soccer 2026. Join fans from around the world at the free 39-day FIFA Fan Festival at Lemon Hill. Enjoy live match broadcast, entertainment, and unforgettable energy all summer long. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic. So let's do that. Now, Andrew Salciunas has the day off today. It is not because of a clip that went viral from our show last week about Jalen Hurts. He's got regular vacation, but he was getting ripped because he said his number one question for the Eagles this year is about Jalen Hurts' performance at the quarterback position with the change in offense, Sean Mannion now taking over. What is your evaluation of that? Is that your number one question?
My number one question for this team this year would be if the offensive line can stay healthy and hold up. And it's not a very sexy question, right? Like, if the offensive line isn't healthy, we can't get Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens and Lane Johnson back to health. I don't care what plays Sean Mannion's calling. They're not going to have much of a chance. The offensive line has to be better. It has to be healthier. They've been the foundation of that team for so long. They've been responsible for so much success. We're talking about elite, all-time Eagle talents. So I don't say this in a critical way, but I say it in a way in which the offensive line has had to play through some injuries, and it's aging. And are they going to hold up and hold together? If they do, it's going to be a great season. If they don't, it's not. To me, that's where it starts.
The San Luquito piece that came out with Carson Wentz, and
yeah.
So there was a lot of defense of Carson. I guess what I'm saying is, independent of Carson Wentz, does it feel like the Eagles have Jalen Hurts' back after everything that's been put out there in the media and everything?
I mean, I don't feel like they've run the bus over him, but I do remember when the Carson Wentz article came out they went into a damage control mode. I think they had Carson meeting with some reporters afterward to give his side of the story and clear the air. And I don't know if their reaction this time around is a result of that, like a byproduct of, do we really have to do this every time, because it's really not necessary, or if it's because they just don't. I don't think it's because of their relationship with Jalen Hurts right now. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that it's Philly. This is going to happen. Stories are going to come out. It's been coming out even before Carson. So you have like different people in charge now too. It's not Doug Peterson and his crew anymore. So I thought Howie didn't do the greatest job of backing up Jalen Hurts, but I also didn't think he was like rolling the. Some people interpreted it as that's messaging from Howie. I didn't interpret it that way at all.
With Lamar, it's changed.
You're right.
But he's won the MVP and he's never made a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not 25 years old, right? Josh Allen, as far as I'm concerned, needs to start getting criticized. Because if you're going to hold everybody to the same standard, then guess what, Josh? You haven't been to a Super Bowl. It can't be the team's fault every time. Joe Burrow took a terrible organization to the Super Bowl, right? So Joe Burrow, just by going to a Super Bowl, kind of gets checked off that list. It's like, all right, you're not in the same. No, like Justin Herbert. What are we doing here? Justin Herbert's not in this rookie contract.
Nope.
Justin Herbert's lost how many big games?
A lot.
A lot, right? Is it all his fault? It doesn't matter if it's all his fault. It doesn't matter. It's the quarterback. And Justin Herbert, how many playoff games has Justin Herbert won? Has he? Has he won one?
Didn't he just win one?
I think he won one.
With Marks. Now more of Kincade and Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
I know it was just one game, but that was the biggest regular season game of my parenthood.
What? What are you talking about?
So Coop is really, really understanding which teams we dislike.
So you're teaching the hate.
Yes.
Like I taught Dallas Cowboys hate.
Yes.
And that's good to know.
So last night, Phil's game's playing. Christy had girlfriends over. They had a little book club. And so me and Coop were like, all right, we're going upstairs. All right, we're going to go upstairs. So we're hanging out. And he's asking me who are the Phillies playing. And I go, which team in baseball do we hate the most? He goes, the stinking Mets. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. And then I give him the quiz. I was like, which team do we hate the most in football? The Cowgirls.
Good.
That's right, kid.
Okay, you're raising right.
And then we Penguins and all that kind of stuff.
Will he one day have the rule, though, that my daughter would gladly at 22 tell you she would live by? She would never bring home a Cowboy fan to her father, say, Dad, this is the guy. This is going to be the guy. This is going to be your son-in-law. He's going to be a Cowboy fan.
Interesting question.
She knows. No, she would never. She would tell you flat out, it would never happen. That would be enough of a disconnect with my daughter that there would be. She gets such enjoyment out of the birds.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I am not going to.
See, I'm a big love is love guy, but I can't trust somebody that's a local Cowboys fan. If he traveled to Texas for work and met like a real Cowboys fan, love is love, maybe.
Like you couldn't live with it though, because you couldn't enjoy. She says, I couldn't enjoy something that I enjoy with a spouse or somebody, a boyfriend or spouse that is rooting against my
Yeah,
team. I couldn't
yeah.
enjoy what I enjoy. And I said, good choice, because that's
Sometimes
smart.
I do enjoy the in-house rivalry.
Yeah, but no.
But
you
that's
wouldn't
that's
enjoy
a
it.
big one.
You
man.
wouldn't enjoy that.
Well, actually, we would because the Cowboys never win, so we don't have to worry
No, you
about
wouldn't.
that.
It'd still be hatred.
So it's a big loss for the Phillies yesterday because here's Coop watching the stinking Mets, and
Oh,
know.
boy. And kids don't understand.
early on they're losing, man.
Kids don't understand the 1 of 162.
Yeah, oh yeah, no. When-
And, by the way, many of our listeners don't either.
I told you when I
But-
took him to the game a few weeks ago, he asked me if they won a trophy when they that game that I forget who they even played. It was when Wheeler had like the no-hitter through 6 innings.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, Dave Dombrowski spoke before the game yesterday because, as you would imagine, the POBO, the president of baseball operations, has to talk about the number one prospect in the organization being sent down. By the way, has the term graduated always been a thing?
What, like when you call somebody up, graduated to the major
No.
leagues?
I've heard that.
It's not always been a
Lauber
thing.
said it yesterday.
No, it's
I
not
heard
always
Jason
been.
Stark
I've heard
say
it
it.
used. I've heard it used, but it's never always been. No.
Dude, I've honestly, bro, it's the number one thing on my mind. More than anything else in the world, more than anything else in sports, more than my child. I've heard baseball people that cover the Phillies use the term graduated numerous times this week. I was like, when the hell did that start?
Well, it's like the sweeper.
Yeah.
It's like major league pitchers, and I love it that the major league pitchers that are on the MLB network. I love the fact that they all mock the sweeper.
They invented it.
I
man.
love that they mock it, going, "Wow, we pitched in the major." Hey, Pedro. There's this new pitch. You know, these
pitch
kids are
called the
throwing a new
sweeper,
pitch.
man.
You go, "This is amazing. I never heard of the sweeper. This is amazing. The new pitch. What is this?"
Ah,
like
what's
they
in the
make up,
name?
like they make up stuff, and then just start saying it.
Oh,
Sort
dude,
of-
the slurve was my favorite.
It's
I
like-
love
the
the slider
slurve.
curve.
I said.
Oh, dude, which, by the way, is a sweeper.
it is the
it's
slurve,
just-
right?
It's just, yes, it's just
It's
a
the
different
slurve,
word.
right? They tried the slurve. Nobody ever took with that.
Sweeper sounds cooler than that. All right.
If I hear you say the W this weekend on the network, I'm going to smack you on Monday.
Okay. Here's
you go.
Dave Dombrowski talking about Andrew Painter being sent down.
Well, I think at this point, difficult that we want him to continue to start pitching well. I think what's difficult, he's been struggling at this time. So we think that the best thing for him is to kind of get reset, to work on some things with the pitching people, have talked with him. He's been working on it now, and they tell me he's been doing very well on the sides, hasn't carried over to the game yet. It's difficult, but sent many good pitchers down, many good players down. They go down and they get reset, they come back and can do well for you. So that's what our goals are, and we think will happen with it.
I like that answer. I mean,
Yeah, it's a fine
I like that answer. And by the way, I that's what we're all rooting for. It's what we're all hoping for Andrew Painter.
Sure as
And
hell
by
are.
the way, the Phillies organization needs it to happen. I heard Ricky give a great explanation yesterday on Unfiltered as he was talking about it, the idea that that sometimes the reset happens. But Ricky was like, I'm tired of hearing about the Tommy John. Enough about the Tommy
Well, that's
John.
why I said to
He
you
said this should
yesterday.
not be, you shouldn't be talking about the Tommy John anymore.
I understand that people think post Tommy John, it's takes some time and then they're great. Sometimes they're better than where they were before. Sandy Alcantara won Cy Young, and he has not even been remotely close to the pitcher since he got that. So I can't just rely on it'll be fine. He's still recovering
No,
from
it's not. It's
from
not
Tommy John.
He's not the same pitcher.
I know. And that's a shame. And so you hope that the reset in AAA goes well. Now, yesterday we were talking about it because yesterday was the day we reacted to him being sent down. We were saying, all right, what do they do, right? Can they be aggressive and make a trade for a back-end starter right now? Scott Lauber was with us yesterday saying, are you really going to trade a lot now because you would be paying more now than you would closer to the deadline? Are you really going to pay a lot now for a guy that's probably not going to pitch much for you in the playoffs at all because you're going to have a 3-man rotation, and when you go to the 7-game series, if you make it to the 7-game series, you would have a 4-man rotation, but that fourth guy's probably a couple innings for you, i.e. Arenoli last year, right? Well, here was Dave Dombrowski.
Who didn't do badly, by the way.
No, he didn't. Here was Dave Dombrowski talking about the pitching depth.
I mean, it's been one that we focused on. We got 4 that match up with anybody's probably in baseball. So, and I think most clubs are searching for their 5th and beyond that. So, this is, unfortunately, we thought Andrew would be ready to continue throughout the year. Didn't quite make it, but it doesn't mean he's not going to be back and pitch very well for us. We still think he has the type of ability. we've got a couple guys down there that we're happy to be bringing up. Great bullpen depth, so we'll just see what ends up happening. I'd have to say most clubs that I talk to don't have starting pitching depth, so there's very few that are, if you get hit in the wrong spot, you're going to throw somebody out there. It's tough for us to top our top three at this point. And so, and Nola throws hopefully the way he's capable of throwing. It's pretty tough to top those four.
Connor, a trivia question. What was the number he said?
What, 4?
Yes.
Did you hear the sirens? Now, that was unfortunately the police were not there to arrest Dave Dombrowski for the poor job he's done constructing this roster.
You can't include Aaron Nola. You can't.
You cannot.
And,
you
and
cannot
look, again,
put Nola on
he
there.
settled down. He settled in yesterday. But this happened before the game. You cannot include Aaron Nola as we have a deep 4-man rotation. No, you have the arguably best 1, 2, 3 in baseball. Period. Leave it at that.
I'm feeling great. Great.
We don't have to say four.
With a capital GR about their 1, 2, 3 because I think Luzardo is a 3. Mm-hmm. And after watching him last year, he was nails. I mean, I'm watching that, and plus a 10-game segment. Like this guy's going, John, you're cherry picking numbers. Okay, I'm just being fair here because this is what I said. Is 10 starts cherry picking a number? A 10-start stretch is not cherry-picking
Not for a guy that has a track record of already showing that he can pitch in baseball.
I think saying a pitcher's last 10 starts, he has a 2.92 ERA, is not cherry-picking. That's not cherry-picking.
No, it's
not. If I said 2 starts, 3 starts, that's cherry-picking. 10 starts is that's 2 months of baseball.
Yeah, and it's a guy that's proven that he can pitch and pitch well in big spots in Major League Baseball. This isn't like the Vanimal when Vance Worley came up and he was great. In 2011, he was fantastic. And then he wasn't after that. Like
your analysis is spot on today. Connor, he's really good for a Friday.
This guy's proven that he can pitch in Major League Baseball.
The Vanimal wasn't good. He just really wasn't good then.
Hey, he was in a World Baseball Classic not too long ago.
He was.
Great Britain, right? That's who he pitched for?
Yes, sir.
That was awesome. All right, coming up next, get all of our baseball takes out now. We have to. Because it seems like we won't have many chances in 2027 to do that. An update on the negotiations that are seemingly heading toward a lockout. Your text messages, the Twitter poll, all ahead here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is changing the game because sometimes your players get subbed off and your bet goes on with them. Well, not anymore. With the FanDuel Sportsbook app, they have these super subs. So if your player subbed out, your bet stays in. So we have Team USA today. Our local footy expert, Connor Thomas, over there. Connor, name me one player on Team USA.
Christian Pulisic.
That scores.
Christian Pulisic.
Isn't he injured?
He may play.
But he played. He played the other day. He's going to play again today.
Fo Balogun.
All right, that guy.
There you go.
If Fo scores, you win your bet. If you bet Fo and he gets subbed out, the guy that replaces Fo,
maybe Brendan Aronson.
Aronson. If he's his sub and he scores, you win your bet. So you're still on until the final whistle. It's wonderful. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel, especially for the red, white, and blue today. Got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
John Marks.
I'd be surprised if Jalen wasn't significant. That one game against Houston, that was a loss, obviously. And I think last year he was able to get a win, right? Let me pull that up.
All I'm saying is at what point do these quarterbacks start getting criticized? Lamar Jackson's fair game. He's not winning the big game. That's a good organization. Now they have a new head coach coming in. And I like Lamar. The dude just needs to get to a Super Bowl, period.
He hasn't won one.
He hasn't won it. Are you crazy? And when people talk about Justin Herbert nationally, oh, my God, Justin Herbert, what a great quarterback, what a great player. Even the one time we were talking about him on the air, after he lost the playoff game, it was like, oh, that's the offensive line. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But where are the details on Jalen Hurts? The only details we worry about are Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson gets a little bit of it.
You know the saying up the creek
Without a paddle?
Yeah. I love how everybody's like, go get Mike Trout, go get this guy, go get that guy, go get Christian Walker. What the hell are you going to trade for him?
Well, then that leads me to my next question for you.
Unbelievable.
When you look at their top 10 prospects,
yep.
Talking about the Phillies, Aiden Miller's still ranked number 1, although he's hurt. And number 2, quickly rising up the ranks, is Gage Wood. Would either one of those guys be untouchable for you at this deadline if it meant you could get that impact outfielder? Would you trade Gage Wood? Would you trade Aiden Miller? Because here's where I am, Ricky, before you answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very concerned about the future of the Philadelphia Phillies, right? I'm very concerned that the farm system has been depleted. But at the same time, I don't believe it's going to be Gage Wood that's going to make or break this team 3 or 4 years from now. Because guess what happens 3 or 4 years from now? You got a lot of old guys on this team.
And
so you need to go all in now because it's your best chance in the next 5 years. If they don't go all in at this deadline and do everything possible to fix this lineup or fix the back end of the bullpen before Duran, maybe even get another starter, you're not going to win a World Series. And if you don't win a World Series this season, there could be a lockout next year. You might not have Zach Wheeler in 2028. Harper's going to be 2 years older. Schwarber's going to be 2 years older. Realmuto's going to be 2 years older. Trey Turner's going to be 2 years older. Like, you see where if you don't do it this year, the future does not look bright for the Philadelphia Phillies, and you don't have any prospects that are coming to save the day. So it's weird because I'm not sure, even if they go out at the deadline and they get an impact bat in the outfield or they get another reliever, that they're even going to be good enough to beat
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
647, Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic on this Friday morning. All right. Jalen Carter and Phillies talk. We're going to go through the latest proposal by Major League Baseball, but here's what we're talking about. Let's check the Davis on a text line. Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. We love them. They're fantastic people. Are the Phillies stuck? They are. It's like Ben Simmons. I am who I am. It is what it is. They are who they are. It is what it is. They are World Series contenders. They have arguably the top 3 rotation in Major League Baseball. They have a fantastic closer, and they're unfortunately a right-handed bat away, which has been the same story for 4 years now.
Yeah, what year is this?
Yeah, it's 2026.
Are we doing a best of Kincade and Salciunas today? Because I've heard this.
It's just
I know
year.
I've heard this show before.
I know. We've talked about it. So do you agree with that belief that they're just stuck? And it's not that it's good enough, but, like, are you okay with kind of just rolling that dice? The good thing for the Phillies, because, Connor, you compared them to the Sixers. The good thing for the Phillies, knock on wood, they've been relatively healthy. Like, it's not like the Sixers where Embiid's not going to be available come playoff time every game of a series. You know that Paul George's body will not agree with him at some point at that age. For the most part, the Phillies have been healthy. Harper would miss some time. Turner's going to miss some time. That's baseball throughout the course of 162. But come playoff time, other than Trey Turner's hamstrings, they've been healthy come playoff time, except for the Rhys Hoskins, and that's why they've been missing a right-handed bat since 2023. Jalen Carter, regardless of what's going on, are you just paying him right now? I would do it. John would do it.
But I also, too, want Jalen Hurts paid right now.
And I'm not.
I'm
want okay with them taking time with Jalen Hurts. What do we got on the Davis Honda text line?
All right, we'll start with the Phillies since that's where we led off. And Mike from Phoenixville says, I understand 1 of 162. It's only June, blah, blah. But the last 2 years, the Mets were scuffling. Then a dominant series against the Phillies got them going. And Lindor comes back tomorrow or over the weekend at some point. So if the Mets sweep the Phillies, I do think it is even more cause for concern.
I don't think
they're not going to sweep.
Yeah.
I do not believe it. If it happened, we'll talk Monday.
Yeah. I would be shocked. Last year, like, I was legitimately worried going into the series with the Mets. This year, I am not. They're such a mess this year. Like, they're a mess. And by the way, you have Sanchez Wheeler the next
Correct.
2 games.
I'm feeling very good about it.
I feel good about it.
I did bring up that thought process yesterday, though.
Yeah, I know you.
Fire starter.
I feel very good about it.
All right, what else we got?
We have people checking on the Jalen Carter conversation as well. And Colby in Central PA says, do whatever you have to do to keep him. He's a man and a half. Most of the time, he requires double teams like a cheat code. Just have to work on his antics at recess.
He has been, how about this for you? You're talking about the double team thing. He is a top 3 double team player in the NFC since he's been in the league. So since day one.
Yeah, dude's a stud.
Top 3 double teamed player in the NFC since he's entered the league. That's day one. So there you go.
I'm if I could sign the dotted line today, I would do it today.
I would too.
And hopefully before 10 o'clock so we could react to it.
Great point.
But
because we're selfish.
I get what the Eagles are doing. There are character issues that are being talked about.
And when we say character, make it clear. We're saying that, look, when you show up late for work, when you are not in the best shape,
he's been benched.
Things like that.
He has been benched. The Philadelphia Eagles has benched
character.
Jalen Carter numerous times now.
That's character.
He got ejected from a game where he spit on
a human being, which is a character issue.
Yeah, like
if you're spitting on another human being, that is a character flaw.
This isn't hot takes.
No, that's a character flaw.
And I know there are people that celebrate. Yeah, screw the Cowboys.
You're spitting on another human. You need you need somebody to give you a little bit of help.
By the way, that happened like 4 times last year. Remember, Jalen Carter
in the NFL.
There was a guy for Florida in college football. There was another one in the NFL.
Jamar Chase, I think, might have.
No, Jamar Chase had it. Yes, he did.
Did he spit or get spat on?
I think he spit.
I think he
was
spit.
it against who's the cornerback? The one with the Rams, Jacksonville, Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey. I think it was Jalen Ramsey.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was Jamar Chase though. But I mean, it's more important. You're spitting on another human being. You're the one who needs some time on the couch.
Spitting epidemic last year, man.
Good guys' mouth guards are in their helmets these days instead of their mouth.
Yeah, exactly. All right, MLB owners had a new proposal yesterday. And, man, did the MLB Players Association squash it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, here it is. The owners did this. They cast the net out. They cast the hook out. And then the players, all of them on social media, like clockwork, just bid on it. Bid on the hook. This was all this is theater.
This was
staged.
So, baseball owners proposed banning high school players from signing with major league teams, raising the age for international amateurs. They were playing golf today, amateurs.
Yes.
And slashing the money spent on signing bonuses in negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement. So basically it was like, yeah, no, you're not allowed to play at this age, and we're going to take away money too.
You know why they did this? If you're not understanding why they did this, Major League Baseball owners don't think they're getting maybe any of these things,
right?
Or some of them. They're setting these things up so that way these are the things we want. So then when they go to the negotiating table and the players are asking for what they want, they can go, okay, well, we're going to give you back this. We're going to give you back this. So they're making up things that they don't even really want.
Like Howie Roseman saying 2 first-round picks for A.J. Brown. He knew he wasn't getting 2 first-round picks.
But the amount of baseball players that took the bait last night and ran to social media being like, this is incredible. I can't believe it. These owners, they don't even understand. Like they don't get it. They don't understand that this is a absolute negotiating ploy, and they're falling for it. And it's like, come on. Kyle Farnsworth, ex-Major League pitcher. And I'm like, Kyle. And Kyle, I had covered him for a while. I'm like, Kyle, you're falling for this. Don't fall for it. They're putting out all these things to make you go, oh, my gosh, this is terrible. And then the owners are going to say, all right, Kyle, you hate that? Well, we're going to give that back to you.
Sure.
We're not going to give it. So you're going to act like something you never even had, not something we never even had, we gave back to you. The players are like, I don't know, they're like sheep. They're like sheep with this thing.
Now, the one thing that is noteworthy, that is a little concerning about the high school stuff, in their, proposal, they cited increased revenue in college baseball as a reasoning, that they're seeing an uptick in revenue in college baseball, and it is their part of their talent pool, and it's kind of like college football and the National Football League. They're not the same entity, but you don't play on Saturdays for a reason up until a certain point of the year.
Well, NBA doesn't allow high school kids.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that changed.
You got to go to
nobody's
the.
complaining
You got to
about
go
that.
to the what? You got to go to the.
You can go straight to the G League.
G League.
You can go
right.
Euro.
Or you can go international.
Or you play a year in college.
And that's so. I mean,
Yeah,
so
or you can go G League, then back to college, then
Yeah.
play.
play for the play for the Knicks, win a championship,
I
and then
got
go
you.
play for Toledo.
Jalen Brunson going back to Villanova this year.
Yeah,
that's a
he's
great
got
point. I
eligibility.
mean, yeah, you got a little time, so go for it.
Yeah, so it wasn't met well by Major League
Yeah, it wasn't met
Baseball's
well.
Players Association. This could be a long time.
It's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be. Look, a lockout's coming. Prepare yourself.
Hopefully
it's
not
coming.
too long. All right, coming up next, our topic on whether or not the Phils are stuck. Hall of Fame writer Jason Stark. He'll talk about that. Also, he's not so sure that we're guaranteed to see Andrew Painter again this year. That wouldn't be good. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Hey, you know what? If you're getting ready to move, I can relate. If you're organizing your garage, Joe, or maybe you're cleaning out your attic, maybe you're going to do a remodel job around your house. Everybody could use a Bagster, the dumpster in a bag. It's the most convenient, the most affordable way to help with a cleanup project. Best of all, just $29.99. You can do that. Come on, right? Get into a local Home Depot, a Lowe's, or a local home improvement stores and pick yourself up a Bagster. It's simple. You carry it out right under your arm. It is so easy to use, too. I can set up a Bagster, so I guarantee you that you can. And I set it up in just a few minutes. And whatever your cleanup plans are, so whatever project you want to take on at the house, the Bagster can take on all the debris that you're going to fill it with. So what you do is you go buy it, and then you decide the day you're going to set it up. Then you fill it, and then you schedule the collection, and it'll be gone. There's going to be no time limits. It's going to be completely on demand. So this is on your schedule. So when you finally get off your behind and decide, this is the weekend I clean out that garage. This is the weekend I do that remodel, debris gets out of the house. Go to thebagster.com and find the store nearest you and get more details. Clean it up with the Bagster. I've been telling you for a long time. It's the dumpster with the bag.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A tough start to the series. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped Game 1 to the New York Mets last night. 6-4 the final. Juan Soto homering twice for the Mets. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs in relief out of the pen as his rough season continues. And Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. Second time exiting a game in about a period of a week after being hit by a pitch. Don Mattingly talked about Jose Alvarado's struggles this year after the game.
It was one of those games with Alvy. You feel better about him in a tighter game. And obviously tonight he had a couple chances. So I felt like you're in a good spot with him. I mean, the ball's coming out. It's not like he's down in velo or anything like that. We just got to get the ball to the right spots.
And they were not in the right spots last night. The Phillies have the day off today to regroup before they finish off the series Saturday and Sunday. Christopher Sanchez goes tomorrow, Wheeler in Game 3. They have the night off because the World Cup has more action in Philadelphia. Brazil takes on Haiti tonight at 8:30 down in South Philly. And USA has their second match of the tournament at 3 p.m. against Australia. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers still looking at what to do with pick number 22. The NHL draft starts next Friday. And Wyndham Clark, after day 1, leads the U.S. Open with a score of 6 under. Amy Fadul joins us from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 9 a.m. Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad at 9:30 to talk some World Cup. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk or drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Should the Phillies trade for Mike Trout? Should the Phillies trade for Scooble? Because you know what? Here, kids, the Phillies don't have what it takes to get either player. Spoiler alert, they don't have the quality of talent that it would take to get the 2 most sought-after players that could be available at the trade deadline. Now, there will be a lot of gas bags in this market. Hopefully they're not in this building that will tell you, oh, they should go get Scooble. They should go get Mike Trout. They can't get Mike Trout. Here's the reason.
Now back to Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, before we get back to the Phillies conversation, later on this segment, we're going to talk a little World Cup and interest level. It's going to be an interesting conversation, and then we'll play a game at the bottom of the hour called Where Does It Rank? I'll explain more coming up in a little bit. But is Denmark in the World Cup?
I don't believe so.
All right, are they not? Because I would root for them alongside the United States, of course. No, I just looked it up. They did not make it. It's very unfortunate because I now have a new favorite soccer person. For a long time, it was Freddie Adu. For the longest time, Freddie Adu was my favorite soccer player.
He just turned 17.
He has grandchildren now, right?
I don't know. But there's this guy, and I'm going to butcher his name, named Kasper Schmeichel.
Sure, I'm sure that's
Schmeichel. Schmeichel? That sounds like it could be that. Well, Kasper Schmeichel is a former Danish soccer player. He was a goaltender for Team Denmark and also played, in other professional leagues. He is one of the broadcasters for Fox.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I've seen him.
So they're their pregame coverage.
Right.
I don't think he's doing
They
actual
only have
games.
like 9 people on the desk, which is really necessary. Really necessary to have 9 people or whatever on the desk.
Well, they were talking about England versus Croatia. There was a game the other day between the two countries. England got the win. Shout out to our English fans.
42, Harry Kane nets 2. Big
That's
game
right.
for him.
Kieran, one of our great members of our YouTube chat, was celebrating a lot.
What a great name Kieran is.
But before the game, when asked about the upcoming match, Kasper said this, quote, "I'll liken England to the Dallas Cowboys a little bit. They've won it once and have never stopped talking about it."
Oh.
He's my favorite soccer person now, Kasper Schmeichel, or however the hell you say his last name. If he's dropping the Dallas Cowboys line on you, that he's one of us already. How about them Cowboys? He's welcome in Philadelphia whenever he wants.
Wow.
I love it.
He is welcome. I know that in our I've been hearing on our family group chat about a player for Sweden. Dad, have you seen Lucas Bergvall?
All right.
He plays for your team. I said in one of the texts, I said, I think he plays for Andrew's team, Tottenham.
Oh,
That's your team, right?
Yeah, that was my favorite team for one day, yes.
Olivia just likes Lucas Bergvall from Sweden, who's he's on Team Sweden.
He's got a lot of talent?
No, I just think she thinks he's hot. That's about. So I'm like the great analysis.
Good for Lucas.
And she's like, "Have you seen him?" I'm like, "No, I really haven't been checking out these Swedish."
No, you were locked
Swedish
into
team.
Ivory Coast the other
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Well, if you want World Cup for Dummies, Kevin Kincade is going to join us
Yes,
at 9:30.
Kevin Kincade, Crossing Broad.
has a doctorate in dummy.
He'll be
So
joining us coming up at 9:30.
He absolutely
today.
can join us on that one.
All right. Before we talk more footy, Phillies, are they stuck is the question. Now, Connor, you said we have an interesting poll of the day right now, brought to us by Dr. Avedon Appel and the team at Iron Mountain Men's Health. The poll is strong for 4 hours every single morning. That's just what Dr. Avedon Appel does for us, guys. What do we got?
So I wanted to try and word this in a way because just are the Phillies stuck? Kind of vague. So tell me if we did a good job of putting this one together. Our question today, if you do not believe that the Phillies are World Series contenders as is, do you believe that they will be able to elevate to contenders with trade deadline moves? Basically, can they change where they're at this season? 3 options: yes, no, or already contenders.
All right, can we vote on the air before you tell us the...
Absolutely.
I will say they are already contenders.
Okay.
Because of the rotation.
That's what I voted. They're already contenders.
I can bitch and moan about this baseball team every freaking day because I hate them with love. It's a love-hate. Like, I hate the way it's constructed. Dave Dombrowski has been living off his resume for 3 years now. We're talking about a right-handed bat for the 4th straight season. So there's a lot of things about this baseball team that I despise. But going into a series, having Wheeler, Sanchez, and Luzardo, they're contenders. Yeah, it might take 1-0 wins every time, but they were pretty close. I don't want to do the whole they were one throw away, one pitch away, but they were.
Yes.
I just hated that Dombrowski said that and felt comfortable about his club because they still lost in the first round playoffs. So I would say already contenders, even though I hate them.
Yes, already contenders.
I'll make it a clean 3 for 3, and I did vote on the poll, so
and
that's
we all
where it
did
went.
vote. We all did vote the same.
So we are part of the 8%.
Really?
That said already contenders. Maybe you say yes, and they can change their fate. That would make you part of the 18%.
Oh my God.
74% of our responders saying no. Already over 100 votes on this.
Wait, so they're just
I can't believe that
They're dead to 74%.
the Phillies aren't contenders.
yeah, that's wild.
They have a 76% chance to be a postseason team. That all right there, that gives you a chance.
And they will have the best rotation, arguably, going into the playoffs.
Correct.
Look, I get it. They're painful. They're painful to watch sometimes, and it's been painful for the last 4 years or 3 years. Yeah, 4 years, 2023. I get it. I'm right there with you. I hate them with love. But they're contenders.
They're absolutely contenders. And by the way, I do expect we're going to go through a 3 or 4 week period where we are going to say, okay, man, they look like it's all coming together. Like Bryce Harper's, I think, 1 for 23, his last 23 or something.
Yeah, he's going through a rough patch right now.
Do I think that Bryce Harper's going to be 1 for 60? No. Bryce Harper's going to go on a tear where he's like 10 for 24, and he's going to get hot, and then we're going to be like, okay, this team is too good to be able to say that they're not at least contenders.
I think the big concern for those of you who say no, I'm going to guess there's really nobody out there to acquire. And that's my biggest problem with this team. And Connor, it's why you say that they're stuck, and it's why we talk about what farm system do you actually have that you're going to acquire some big name, and what big name is actually available. Like, there really are none. The big names that are available are pitchers, and the Phillies are pretty good in that department right now. Unfortunately, though, they are going to have to acquire a bullpen arm. The way Alvarado has pitched poorly this year, we'll see who Brad Keller is when he returns from his stint on the IL. The way those two guys that we were supposed to rely on, and I know Kerkering's been pitching much better this year and has actually pitched well in higher leverage situations, that's still not enough. They're going to have to acquire a bullpen arm.
Yeah, and Keller could come back and have a 0 ERA, and Kerkering could not give up a run or a hit for the rest of the year. Righty,
Yeah, you need a lefty.
Your closer is a righty. You need a left-handed high-leverage arm, and you don't have that unless you think Tim Meza is going to turn into
And he's
that.
not.
Or Tanner Banks grows his mustache back and figures out how to pitch again.
Anybody out on like, I don't think Keller. I'm not out on Keller.
No. I'm
Like,
curious to see what it looks like when he comes back.
I think Keller's one of those guys that we could end up going, oh yeah, he turns it on and it comes back.
The injury made me feel better. Because, like, at least there's something you could point to of, like, oh, maybe this was bothering him. Finally got to a point where
He was
they needed to shut him
compensated,
down.
you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. That, like, if it was just this guy isn't good, and I didn't think that was he's got a mid-3s ERA, so I don't think that was like a phantom injured list. We can't pitch this guy. Maybe he comes back and looks more like himself.
You hope so.
Good.
I mean, Jordan Romano got sent down at one point.
Well,
was
that
hurt last year.
was
Are you trying to make him feel better or worse?
that
Like,
was
seriously,
not the same thing.
Like, what are you doing here?
I'm just
You're
saying
trying to
that
make him feel better or worse?
Possibilities are endless.
You're unbelievable.
All right.
He was just feeling good about it.
Jason Stark yesterday
Jeez.
talking about Andrew Painter. Our friends of an Unfiltered asked them, hey, do you believe we will see Andrew Painter? Or I don't know exactly the phrasing of the question, but it was something to the extent of, are we going to see Andrew Painter back with the Phillies this year? Not this month, not next month.
Okay.
And yesterday when we had Scott Lauber on, who I love, we love Scott, I pushed back a little bit when Scott was like, when he gets sent down and has like 4 or 5 good starts with the minor leagues, he'll come back up. And I asked him later on in the interview, well, what if he doesn't? Because he was bad in AAA last year. Like, what makes you think that he's just going to go down there and be fine? This was Jason Stark a couple hours later on the Thursday on the Fanatic talking about Andrew Painter.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on it. I really wouldn't. I mean, it's like last year when going into the year, Dave said they would expect him to reach the big leagues July-ish. and then they just couldn't justify calling him up. Is the stuff any better this year, Bill? How would you argue that it is? So this has been a year and a half of this guy. He's got to be a different guy to be a major league pitcher.
That's not good, man.
Listen to the tone. Like, the tone from Jason is just even like, is the stuff any better?
Oh, I think he
almost went as high as Tim Kirkchin on that.
Yeah.
Is it even like, is the stuff even any better?
Well, it's alarming. I mean, let's face it. Like, we are relying on this kid to be as advertised for the future. Growing pains early on, but these aren't growing pains. He's not growing. Like, he's Andrew Painter I'll say this. As a major league pitcher, Andrew Painter stinks. Right now.
He's not good, right?
Could change. But as of right now, Andrew Painter stinks. And if we're talking about stuff has not gotten better when he stunk as a AAA pitcher, that's concerning not just for 2026, man. Am I counting him out? No. Do I think he can find it? Yes.
Yeah, none of us are counting him out.
Yeah, but it's concerning.
It's big time concerning. I didn't want him here this year, so.
Well, you needed him once Ranger went to Boston, but
they did that. They decided to do that.
Yeah, because they want to pay Luzardo and they wanted up Sanchez's deal. I mean, I got no issue with that, but Painter's got to be better. I'm going to call these growing pains until they're proven not growing pains. That's how I'm going to look at this.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't mean I'm right. That might be hopeful thinking.
Are they growing? But like, what are they then?
Confidence thing at this level.
That's how
not trusting the stuff.
That's how Ricky was saying it yesterday. That's how he was sort of painting it. But he says, at one point, you have to prove to me that you can make an adjustment. And he doesn't think he's made an adjustment because he thinks that he has just gotten by blowing people away with his stuff. And he said, it's great to have stuff, but at some point you have to learn to pitch. He said, it's great being down against the tomato cans and blowing them away by all these guys who'll never make it to the major leagues. But then as you get to guys who get closer to the major leagues, your stuff, you got to be able to pitch.
That can hit a fastball over the middle of the plate.
You got to be able to pitch.
Regardless of what team it is in Major League Baseball. They are Major League Baseball players. All right, what do we have on the Davis Auto Text line? Field of Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington, 610-632-0975. And then we're going to get into a discussion about the World Cup.
So we have people checking in on the Jalen Carter conversation we had earlier. This texter saying, I have no problem with them waiting with Jalen Carter because of the issues. He's truly in a prove-it year. Talent is undeniable, but conditioning and maturity need to improve.
Yeah, I mean, look, I would pay him today, but I understand why the Eagles are saying, all right, let's work on some things first. I also would imagine, John, and this is just a guess. I don't know anything about the contract negotiations that are going on. I would imagine they're stuck on wording and incentives. We all know he's going to be the highest paid defensive tackle when he gets paid, right? Like that's no question. But conditioning, you know, could you be fined if you don't reach a certain weight? Or do you get an incentive bonus if you reach a certain weight? We've seen that before. Eddie Lacy is the guy that always comes to mind. Everyone remembers that Eddie Lacy had a weight incentive.
Okay.
And nobody's saying that Jalen Carter's fat.
No,
but saying that.
But
there's football shape.
His defensive coordinator has publicly questioned his conditioning. Conditioning level is not just, hey, do you look good on the beach?
Yeah.
Can you run a staircase? Can you you can look good, but are you in actual physical condition?
Yeah.
It's not a modeling competition.
And then there's, what if you get suspended? What if you get kicked out of a game? Or spitting on a player?
Well, he sort of has some Ndamukong Suh to him.
Yeah.
Young Ndamukong Suh.
And I would have paid Ndamukong Suh.
I would have too.
Even with him stomping on the heads of people.
I would have too. I absolutely would have paid him. I mean, so it's interesting to make these calls. There's no way I am letting him walk out the door.
No,
there's no way any of the stupidity of well trade him. No, I'm not trading him.
No, he's an Eagle.
Why would you trade him? What do you think? Well, Max Crosby, stop it. Stop. No, I don't want the older, broken-down player when I can have 23-year-old Jalen Carter, 23 or 24-year-old Jalen Carter. No, I don't want that. Max Crosby with bad knees. No. Don't want it. Like it's crazy to me. People just I still say the majority of people haven't even watched Max Crosby play. Like they're just like Max Crosby's the name. No, I don't want it. I want 6 more years. Jalen Carter, 6 years.
Yeah.
And he's not beaten up.
Yeah, let's make it happen. By the way, Casper Schmeichel is the correct pronunciation.
Oh, proud of you.
Our in-house soccer expert Sean Rodman has confirmed it.
Casper Schmeichel?
And our overseas Kieran has confirmed it. So like that's how I know. The closer you get to Denmark and you know, then I got it right.
By the way, did you hear yesterday that Unfiltered came up on one side of our argument yesterday about the White Sox and the Phillies, and one person came up on the other side of our argument?
Is that right?
One person on Unfiltered backed you guys.
I'm going to guess. Ricky Batalico backed you with the White Sox.
Ricky Batalico backed you guys with the Phillies.
Let's go, baseball guys.
Bill Colarulo. See, now you're all ready to smear Bill.
Seam heads.
You were all ready to smear Bill. To smear Ricky, and you're like, oh yeah, well, but Ricky agreed with you. No, Ricky agreed that he wanted the Phillies because he thinks the Phillies in the short term have more chances to win championships, and Bill thinks that this is the last hurrah for the Phillies, so he'll take the $190 million and take the White Sox roster.
Right.
Absolutely,
You're
going
not
forward.
stupid.
Connor,
I know that.
Connor, a
Bill?
couple of seam heads, you, me, Ricky.
What does Ricky know? He only
Yeah,
played
you
Major
were
League
so
Ball.
willing to throw Ricky under the bus just 2 seconds ago.
So that means we're right.
You assumed.
Because remember, your painter analysis is not good because Ricky's is better.
No, you know what I said? Ricky's saying, I'm heading for years of bad postgame shows.
Oh.
Ricky's heading for, you know what Amy had to do for years?
Oh, God,
with the process postgame shows?
Oh, yeah.
Ricky's going to have to do, what, 140 of them? 130 of them?
Yeah, he'll have to do a lot of them. All right, World Cup. So, John, you were getting messages the other day?
Yes. It was just I was getting social media. It was all over my Twitter feed. You can go read it. It was over 100 and some responses. People just giving me grief because of the fact that they felt we should have led the other day with World Cup.
Okay.
The day the Joe Santoliquito piece was published, that World Cup should have been the lead story for Kincade Salciunas, and that it was the overwhelming thing was it was another fake story, another hit piece on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, you know why?
And that
because they don't want to believe that.
And the World Cup is in town. So World Cup should have been the lead on Kincade Salciunas, and that is what the people want.
So we should break down the Ecuador.
This was right after the Ivory Coast thing.
Ivory Coast,
and I brought up to you, I said, I raised my hand. I thought, whenever I knew Ivory Coast, I thought it was just a place.
Yeah.
I did not even,
like
a
region.
A region. Like, I thought it was like a vacation place. Like, not vacation place, but a place, a region. I did not even know the significance of it or anything like that. Though, I am very supportive of the World Cup. Very supportive. I'm thrilled that it's here. I hope everybody has a great time. I'm loving seeing all the foreign visitors having a blast.
Oh, it's awesome.
The Brazilians are blowing up their Twitter, their X feeds, with how much they love Philadelphia.
See what they did the other day, by the way?
We'll talk about it.
It's awesome. They're loving.
Very important story to
They're
discuss
loving
headlines.
stuff.
All
And
right,
by
good.
the way, the Brazilian people, you're beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful. And so they're playing tonight. I love the fact that it's here. But no, people who listen to sports talk radio in Philadelphia are not clamoring for us to lead off a show on a Monday with, hey, did you see that Ivory Coast match?
Here's what it
let's
is.
talk it, baby.
They're
not.
It's the big story to deflect the Jalen Hurts story. That's what it was all
well,
about.
then that could be.
That's
but
what
it's,
it was all
but
about.
It's
Talk
not,
this instead. Talk that instead.
It is not. No one is going, man, they should be leading with. If you believe that a sports talk radio station in Philadelphia should be leading with World Cup, unless, now today we're going to talk more about it because Team USA's playing.
Yes.
That's exciting. We can't wait to get off the golf course. We're going to play golf today, and we will get off the golf course before the match to be able to go cheer for Team USA.
And, oh, by the way, it's cool that today there's a game here.
It's
Even though
awesome.
It's not Team USA.
It's awesome.
There's a game here in Philadelphia, which is really, really
and
awesome.
we're all in support of it, and
plan
it's awesome.
accordingly with your drive home, and there's obviously going to be a lot of traffic around there.
I've told you over and over again, I truly believe it's as if, and you can disagree with me if you wish, and I'll take all the hits. I believe soccer fans do more to put up walls around their sport than any fan base. Flyer fans, you're a close – there's a segment of you. A segment of Flyer fans, you're a close second. Like putting up walls, like barriers to be like, talk about us more. Talk about it more. And then it's like, oh, they suck talking about it. They're not talking about it enough.
Well, they did ask us to talk about it.
I want them leading with it. It's like, come on. Like chill out. I mean, seriously.
It's very exciting.
But
And
nobody in Philly's waking up if you think the majority of Philadelphia fans are waking up on Monday morning going, man, let's talk about Ivory Coast, man. Let's talk about let's break down the World Cup.
We're not breaking down the game. So here's what we can do World Cup because it's a story. It's here.
It is a story.
It's in our backyard.
Is.
Where is your interest level with the World Cup? And is your interest level like Team USA? Or is your interest level, wait, the game in Philadelphia plays tonight, I'm going to watch it? If you're not a big soccer fan, I think it's going to get overrated that it's in the link. It's kind of like I hate the what's the hockey thing?
Stadium series.
I hate it because look, they're playing outside, and then you watch the game and you see the rink, and you're like,
and you can't watch it on TV.
You're
it's
like,
terrible. It's a terrible event on TV.
Like I'm still watching hockey, so like it's not like I'm getting anything at home watching this special game. For people that are excited that it's in Philadelphia, I think it's more so the surrounding areas than the game itself, unless you're a big soccer fan. So where is your interest level with the World Cup? I love the World Cup. I was watching Team Canada. They went up 3-0 before the Phillies game started, and then I flipped over to the Phillies game. But there you go. I just gave you my answer. The second a regular season Phillies game started, I flipped over because what do I really care about Canada versus Qatar? Like I don't. So coming up next, John, we're going to play a game.
Okay.
And we're all going to give our individual answers. You guys can play at home as well.
I love these.
It's called Where Does It Rank? This segment, the major events that we dive into when we really don't pay attention the rest of the year. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto carries the Mets in Game 1. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped Game 1 to the Mets 6-4 last night. Juan Soto homered twice for New York. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs out of the pen as his rough season continues, and Trey Turner exited the game with a left calf contusion, his second time leaving the game after being hit by a pitch in about a week. Don Mattingly talked after about Trey Turner's status.
Well, they're calling it calf contusion towards the bottom where it starts getting in the Achilles. He was having trouble putting pressure, pushing off. Hopefully it's day off tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be good by the night game. We'll see.
So we'll keep an eye on him as the series continues. They have the day off today, as you heard Don Mattingly say, because the World Cup's in Philly. More on that in a second. Game 2 and 3 are Saturday and Sunday. Christopher Sanchez, Zach Wheeler going those games consecutively. Brazil takes on Haiti tonight at 8:30 p.m. down in South Philly for Philly's second World Cup match of the tournament. Team USA's out in Seattle taking on Australia at 3 p.m. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers still looking at what to do with pick number 22. And the NHL draft starts next Friday night. In the U.S. Open, Wyndham Clark leads at Shinnecock after one day, 6 under. Amy Fadul joins us from the 8 o'clock hour to the end of the show. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN at 9 a.m. and Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad talks World Cup with us at 9:30. This update is brought to you by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, develops better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Intelligent and honest conversation for your drive home. Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Silvana Kelleher.
Every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m.
Watch them on NBC Sports Philadelphia or listen right here on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo on the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel in partnership with Valley.
The San Loquido piece that came out with Carson Wentz, and
oh yeah.
So there was a lot of defensive Carson. I guess what I'm saying is, independent of Carson Wentz, does it feel like the Eagles have Jalen Hurts' back after everything that's been put out there in the media and everything?
I mean, I don't feel like they've run the bus over him, but I do remember when the Carson Wentz article came out, they went into a damage control mode. I think they had Carson meeting with some reporters afterward to give his side of the story and clear the air. And I don't know if their reaction this time around is a result of that, like a byproduct of, do we really have to do this every time, because it's really not necessary, or if it's because they just don't. I don't think it's because of their relationship with Jalen Hurts right now. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that it's Philly. This is going to happen. Stories are going to come out. It's been coming out even before Carson. So you have different people in charge now too. It's not Doug Peterson and his crew anymore. So I thought Howie didn't do the greatest job of backing up Jalen Hurts, but I also didn't think he was rolling the. Some people interpreted it as that's messaging from Howie. I didn't interpret it that way at all. With Lamar, it's changed. You're right. He's won the MVP and he's never made a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not 25 years old, right? Josh Allen, as far as I'm concerned, needs to start getting criticized. Because if you're going to hold everybody to the same standard, then guess what? Josh, you haven't been to a Super Bowl. It can't be it doesn't matter if it's all his fault. It doesn't matter. It's the quarterback. And Justin Herbert, how many playoff games has Justin Herbert won? Has he? Has he won one?
Didn't he just win one?
I think he won one.
I know he threw a bunch of interceptions in that one game against Houston. That was a loss, obviously. And then I think last year he was able to get a win, right? Let me pull that up.
All I'm saying is, at what point do these quarterbacks start getting criticized? Lamar Jackson's fair game. He's not winning the big game. That's a good organization. Now they have a new head coach coming in. And I like Lamar. The dude just needs to get to a Super Bowl, period.
He hasn't won one.
He hasn't won it. Are you crazy? And when people talk about Justin Herbert nationally, oh, my God, Justin Herbert. What a great quarterback. What a great player. Even the one time we were talking about him on the air after he lost the playoff game, it was like, oh, that's the offensive line. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But where are the details on Jalen Hurts? The only details we worry about are Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson gets a little bit of it.
You know the saying up the creek
without a paddle?
Yeah. I love how everybody's like, go get Mike Trout, go get this guy, go get that guy, go get Christian Walker. What the hell are you going to trade for him?
Well, then that leads me to my next question for you.
Unbelievable.
When you look at their top 10 prospects,
yep,
talking about the Phillies, Aiden Miller's still ranked number 1, although he's hurt. And number 2, quickly rising up the ranks, is Gage Wood. Would either one of those guys be untouchable for you at this deadline if it meant you could get that impact outfielder? Would you trade Gage Wood? Would you trade Aiden Miller? Because here's where I am, Ricky, before you answer. I'm very concerned about the future of the Philadelphia Phillies, right? I'm very concerned that the farm system has been depleted. But at the same time, I don't believe it's going to be Gage Wood that's going to make or break this team 3 or 4 years from now. Because guess what happens 3 or 4 years from now? You got a lot of old guys on this team.
And
so you need to go all in now because it's your best chance in the next 5 years. If they don't go all in at this deadline and do everything possible to fix this lineup or fix the back end of the bullpen before Duran, maybe even get another starter, you're not going to win a World Series. And if you don't win a World Series this season, there could be a lockout next year. You might not have Zach Wheeler in 2028. Harper's going to be 2 years older. Schwarber's going to be 2 years older. Realmuto's going to be 2 years older. Trey Turner's going to be 2 years older. Like, you see where if you don't do it this year, the future does not look bright for the Phillies.
Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, coming up in a few minutes. I may say something.
The dramatic pause there was interesting.
I may say maybe my most controversial take ever.
That's saying something.
What? What time is this? What time are you going to say? No. You got to give people an exact time.
In 5 minutes.
Okay.
It might rival my Sopranos take that got me in a lot of hot water.
I didn't think your Sopranos take was bad.
I know you didn't, where I talked about how the Sopranos was
I love The Wire.
Overrated. Because,
you mean it was very cliched?
Well, and people
very cliche.
Just because it was the first doesn't mean that it's the best.
Hang it in the Louvre, please.
So we'll get to that in a couple.
Sopranos was great.
All right, where does it rank? So
all right, here we go.
I have a list of 5 major sporting events that I don't care about until the major event happens itself, like the sport itself.
And everybody else can play at home too, this.
And I'm curious if you guys have a similar 5 or where you would rank them.
Okay.
So at number 5.
All right.
This one will be happening in a couple of weeks. You have a guess?
The All-Star game?
No, because I love baseball.
Yeah, I was
the
going to
home
say
run
that's weird.
derby.
No, it's baseball related. So anything baseball related, I love.
What's happening in a couple of weeks?
What will we potentially be watching if you can stomach it on the 4th of July?
The hot dog eating contest.
I watch it every year.
I hate it.
I watch it every year, and I don't watch competitive eating, but I watch that every single year. So that's number 5 for me.
Okay.
Number 4, I never watch anything when it comes to skiing. But Winter Olympics, man, whether it's the long jump, I'm fascinated by.
All right.
Or just any skills competition where they do like 900 degree spins, and I'm like, how do they do that? I could watch that any time of the year, right? I'm sure there's a competitive skiing league. I don't watch it, but I watch it Winter Olympics. Swimming in the Summer Olympics. I never watch swimming. When have you said, let me watch Michael Phelps and his highlight reel outside the Olympics? You never do.
No.
But I love the swimming competitions in the Olympics.
Okay.
They're awesome. Number 2, this is different for me than it will be for you two, the Masters. I don't watch golf, ever. All right? Like, I if my father-in-law has it on, sure, I'll sit down on the couch and watch it with him. But come Masters Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm locked in. I'm pretending as if I'm a big golf fan for 4 days. I have not watched a swing from a professional golfer since the Masters ended. When was the Masters? It was in April, so 2 months ago. I haven't watched one swing. And then number 1, World Cup. I never watched soccer. I'm not a fan of the MLS, the Premier League, Serie A.
So they would be
leagues.
Your biggest ones.
But I will watch multiple World Cup games, like multiple. And it's countries that I have no association with, but I love pride. Like, I love country pride. It's you guys know it's a
great.
big deal for me personally. So those are my 5.
Kentucky World Cup's on mine. World Cup's one of my 5. That's the only one that makes my 5.
Okay.
Kentucky Derby.
See, I don't even really watch the Kentucky
Like
Derby.
like any one of the Triple Crown
Yeah.
races. Like I'll watch them, and I'll say, "What time's it on?" Like 5:30, 5:40. I'll say, "I want to watch that."
I will not
And
change
it's like
my
2 minutes,
change my day.
2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Home Run Derby
Okay.
is one that I pay. Like I mean, just like you just don't pay any attention to. But I'll put it on every year. Like that kind of stuff is like any kind of thing around. Like
But you watch baseball.
yeah, I do. But women's Final Four.
Okay.
Watch no women's basketball all year long.
But then the Final Four, you're locked
When I
in.
watch women's Final Four college basketball, I find myself saying, "When's that on? Okay, I'm going to watch some of that. I'll watch that. Whether it's the Dawn Staley thing, whether it's I'll watch the Final Four.
And she's usually in it. Yeah.
Will I watch the first rounds where Dawn Staley and them are winning by 50 points?
Yeah, you're not
60
watching it.
points, I'm not
Yeah.
watching. And track and field in the Olympics.
Yeah, Usain Bolt, man. Those are the days.
I love track and field in the Olympics. I love watching the pole vault.
Yep.
I love watching the 440, the 100 meter. I love that. To me, that's my favorite stuff in the Olympics. Is the track and field?
Yeah.
That's played.
But
in
you're
the
not
big-
watching track
No,
and field.
I wouldn't watch anything. I
any
wouldn't
other
watch
day.
anything at all. Connor,
right.
you have any different ones?
Connor, what about you?
Yeah, there's only one that you guys haven't mentioned that's there for me. A UFC or a combat sport, boxing, something like that. A big fight. I will watch.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching like I didn't watch UFC.
Now, do you
250
go
or
out
anything.
for them?
Sometimes if I'm accidentally. I mean, they're normally on the weekends and they're normally late, which I'm out every weekend late. So I'll be out for most of them, yes.
Because you're not buying one of those, right?
pay-per-view.
You're not
Nah.
paying.
Well, sometimes if my buddy purchases,
Oh,
I'll throw
okay,
a couple
yes.
dollars for
Okay.
pizza or something, even it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm not zoned in on that remotely. But I do like to, if guys are beating each other up on the TV, I'll watch it.
Okay.
Anything else? Just the fighting?
No, that's it. I mean, the World Cup, too. I'm not a huge, I'll watch some Premier League matches.
Yeah, you understand. Like, you know what's going on in the Premier League. I know nothing. Like, literally, I don't even know who the good countries are. Even though
in
I
the
do
Premier
have,
League?
I do-
Mainly England.
Oh, no, I'm talking about,
I
like,
know.
right now. I do have power rankings, though, for you.
Ooh.
Team USA has made it to number 9. They were not previously ranked. Team USA now 9th in the World Cup power rankings. Do you guys want to go through them?
I know John is dying to hear.
You want to do
Hey,
World Cup power
hey,
rankings, John?
Is this Alexi Lawless's? Because if so, I read these.
I don't know. France is number 1. That's
Here's
all I
what
can
I
tell you.
will. Here's what I will tell you is that I've heard from enough people that say the U.S. absolutely has got to get to the quarterfinals, or it's a complete disaster. If they're not in the final 8, it's a disaster. They have underachieved. They have absolutely peed their pants.
There you go. That's some World Cup
So there you
breakdown
go.
from John Kincade.
No, I stole that directly from ESPN Overnights too. Their entire panel said if they do not make the final 8, it is a disaster. And that they are set up for it and they should get there. So,
All right.
very good.
All right, this is going to be pretty controversial.
I can't wait. Could you give us a hint on anything going into it?
Season 3 debuts Sunday. And Dawood actually mentioned it in the YouTube chat.
Season 3. I feel like I just saw something.
I don't
What
even
what
know.
show is it?
House of the Dragon
Oh,
debuts
jeez.
on Sunday, Season 3, of course, from the world of Game of Thrones.
I was just asking you about your dragons and your incest.
Season 3 debuts on Sunday. My wife and I are rewatching Game of Thrones. And I have all the respect in the world for the world that was built by George R.R. Martin. I need that guy to go away, and I never need to hear from him ever again.
Why?
Because Season 3, that's about to drop, he wrote in a blog post, which he then deleted, "This is no longer my story. They've moved on from my story." I've heard this so many times from this guy now. You know, they finished Game of Thrones before I could write my book. Write your freaking book then, dude.
He's the one who sold it, right?
Yes. I'm tired of I am tired of a guy that has probably created one of the most successful worlds, right? You have the world of Star Wars that now has 75. I don't even know where we're at anymore with Star Wars. You have the Harry Potter universe. That's a big one. The
Marvel
Frodo,
with the comic books, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. It's a big one. But this guy with the Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, I need him to go away because he's now complaining that they went away from his story of House of the Dragon because he's not done things. Dude, I'm sorry. The world can't wait for you.
Right.
I'm tired of this
Well,
guy
more importantly,
talking.
How about this? Don't sell it then. Don't sell it. You created it. You did it. You created the terms that you sold it under.
And now he's complaining about how it's being done.
You could have said, here is what you're entitled to. You are not allowed to then write anything else. You're not allowed to hand it off to another writer. I mean, come on. It's okay. You sold it. You took the money grab. Stop whining about it.
Yeah, like I need him to go away because, yes, he created something extremely successful, and you can tell me all you want about how he would have done something differently at the end of Game of Thrones and how of House of Dragon, apparently the critics have already told you that Season 3 is not that good. It's amazing.
Well, they've already viewed it.
Yeah, they've already viewed it. So if that's the case, I need this. Shut up, dude. Then do your work. Like, your job is this. This is your one job. Or if you want to say, I'm done, I retired, that's
Wait a minute.
fine.
Hasn't it been like 8 years?
Yeah, dude. So I got to tell you.
It's been like 8 years. And how hard is it to come up with, like, okay, the fire-breathing dragon comes out?
It's hard. I would imagine.
No, it's more nuanced than that. But the thing
Incest.
is, you said
the brother and sister have sex. I mean, come on.
You said that it's a controversial opinion. That's like leading into a segment that says I have a controversial opinion and the Phillies need a right-handed bat. Like, everybody feels this way about this guy.
No, but people are still upset with the way Game of Thrones ended, and they blame the production company. It's not their fault, dude. This guy stopped writing. You can't all of a sudden have a season 7, and then 15 years later we have season 8, where half the cast is dead or they have gray hair when they're not supposed to.
It is on the production company, too, but we're not debating. No, we're not doing the Game of Thrones.
No, the dude never finished the book.
Okay,
and he keeps on saying, I haven't finished the book yet. Well, then shut up and write it.
Yeah, not the audience to debate the end of Game of Thrones, but yes.
There you go.
All right. I think I hate him.
I think a lot of people agree with you, though.
Yeah, dude, that's not an unpopular take.
I think that would be, there's nothing controversial about that. I could say that the two Game of Thrones watchers in my household would agree with you completely.
Yeah,
they hated the ending, by the way. They did not like the ending.
Yeah.
They didn't hate it as much as other people.
So did George R.R. Martin. Well, you know what, dude? If you freaking wrote the book,
write a different ending then.
Stop talking. And now you're on a new project, and now you're upset with the way that's being depicted. It's nobody's fault but yours. I'm sorry. Watch season 3 starting Sunday. HBO.
I don't think so.
Coming up next, today's headlines with Connor Thomas, and I know he's got something that I almost talked about on the air, and I can't wait because it happened in Philadelphia, John. It's a big one. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you could trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every single match from the opening stage all the way to the final, and again, tonight at 8:30, Philadelphia takes center stage. Brazil taking on Haiti in the city of brotherly love. And Brazil's trading at an 89% chance to beat Haiti, meaning a $100 trade pays out $111. Now, you've seen some weird stuff going on in this tournament. You've seen some draws between one of the best teams in the world and one of the smallest countries in the tournament. So maybe you think, I'm not so sure. Maybe an upset will happen. Well, let me take you back to 1970. That's the last time in the early 70s that Brazil did not win one of their first 2 matches of a tournament of this magnitude. They drew with Morocco to open. So, unless you're going against 60 years or so of history, I would say you want to trade on Brazil. And on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app. And make sure you use code FANATIC to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. That's Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Bill Colarulo.
Do you think those Knicks fans felt good for Philadelphia in Super Bowl 52? Were they out on the street saying, wow, look how united the city of Philadelphia is. Yay! And you don't have any prospects that are coming to save the day. So it's weird because I'm not sure, even if they go out at the deadline and they get an impact bat in the outfield or they get another reliever, that they're even going to be good enough to beat the Dodgers at that point. But I think you are forced, if you're Dombrowski, to at least try.
Should the Phillies trade for Mike Trout? Should the Phillies trade for Scooble? Because you know what? Here, kids, the Phillies don't have what it takes to get either player. Spoiler alert, they don't have the quality of talent that it would take to get the two most sought-after players that could be available at the trade deadline. Now, there will be a lot of gas bags in this market. Hopefully they're not in this building that will tell you, oh, they should go get Scooble. They should go get Mike Trout. They can't get Mike Trout. Here's the reason. The Phillies have problems right now. Can they go to their minor league system and go get some top prospects? Somebody to call up that everybody would say, hey, this could solve a problem? Andrew was just talking about it. Hell no. It looks like the picked over shelves at a Giant the day before a blizzard. They got nobody. Nobody's coming to save the day from the minor league system. There is nothing coming to help the problem. So if you don't have prospects that are ready to come up and ready to help you at the major league level, how do you think you are going to be able to get one of the top pitchers on the market or top players on the market? Especially one of the top players on the market who has every opportunity in his entire career to come here and play and has rejected it. Could have found his way here on his own and rejected it. Would rather play in anonymity in the shadow of Disneyland. No. What it is the Phillies don't have it. You know who does? The Dodgers, the Braves, the Yankees, other franchises who are contenders that are right now, by the way, teams that are better.
Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas coming up momentarily, and we're going to have a special guest in studio for it. What? It's a Friday with Fadul, so instead of her being on from 8 to 10, she'll be on from 7:48 to 10 because she's here already and ready to go. So she's going to sit in with us for today's headlines. But maybe even more importantly, not to downgrade your segment there,
No, it's
Connor.
cool. I'll take backhanded compliments.
All right, I heard something earlier this week, a promo that's been running for Unfiltered. And I just heard it again during the break. And I was
Okay.
like, all right, we got to play this because I need to know. You guys already yelled at me about John's voicemail that I thought was aggressive. Will you guys agree with my ears this time? Do you have the audio? All right, play it, please.
Bill Colarulo.
Do you think those Knicks fans felt good for Philadelphia in Super Bowl 52? Were they out on the street saying, wow, look how united the city of Philadelphia is?
Does that not
That's
sound
angry.
like Bob Cooney?
Yeah. Oh.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wait, can you play it one more time?
Sounds
Play
like
it
the
one more
Coon Dog.
time.
Bill Colarulo.
Do you think those Knicks fans felt good for Philadelphia in
Dude,
Super Bowl
sounds
52?
just like him.
Were they
That's
out on the
very-
street saying,
It
wow,
does sound like
look,
Cooney.
All week, I've been like, if I'm not listening to the Bill Colarulo, I'm like, are we?
I mean, they're both
Is there
from
old audio playing?
South Jersey. Like, they're,
But they're geographically,
They're fired up about that subject matter.
Geographically, they're the same.
Yeah.
They grew up.
But there's
They
been,
grew up probably 5 miles apart.
I'm not kidding, 2 or 3 times this week listening to the
That's so
station,
funny.
and I'm like, what's playing?
I mean,
Your ears
people
did
get
not
you and I
deceive me.
confused all the time.
Yeah, I get it.
I've done well to try to remove some of my Delco, but it can still come out.
Yeah. My
It can
favorite
still
is
come
that
out.
I've been on when Silvana's been on, and
Yeah.
people are like, I can't tell you apart. I was like, oh, okay.
Really?
Really?
John,
I don't think you sounded like.
No, we don't.
No, I don't think
Sil
you
and I would be
do.
like, we
I
don't
don't.
sound a thing alike. She's like,
No.
I have an accent. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, I don't
Is
think
it that
so.
you're both blonde women? Is that-
People
is that
just.
it?
Well, yeah, it was one time. There's only like 1 or 2 times I ever anchored with Leslie Goodell, just because we were on opposite
Yeah.
schedules or whatever. And the first time we did, I think we both looked at each other and said, "Don't adjust your televisions. There are 2 of us."
There you go. Say
Because people just assume we're the same person.
I love
it's
that.
amazing.
All right, Connor, what do we got in headlines today?
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Well, it's brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. We're going to start right here in the great city of brotherly love. Andrew, you almost brought it up earlier.
I almost did.
So we talked in a previous edition of Headlines about the Ecuadorian fans putting their jersey on the Rocky statue. We're trying to figure out how much the curse affects. We thought it was just away fans, and now is it just anybody that's not a Philadelphia fan?
Ecuador lost.
They did. They lost to Ivory Coast, and now Brazil is taking on Haiti. Brazil, the heavy favorites, and they aren't taking any chances. They had people out surrounding the Rocky statue, protecting it from any jersey being placed on it.
I love it.
It was great. They had these two guys. I think they were just in Brazil soccer
Yeah,
gear.
they had, like, roped
but
up, but
they
they
had the glasses as if
and
they
they
were
like the
security.
Secret
There were
Service.
signs like saying,
don't put anything
touch,
on Rocky.
Don't even think so.
I think that's awesome, and I don't know how that gets to them.
Oh, no.
how.
It was
no,
put
it's
out.
all over.
It was put out. Like the union put out a statement.
Right.
Okay.
There was like one from the city of Philadelphia, I think. It was just like, don't mess with this. Here's the history of this.
It's bad luck.
Don't do it.
Also,
love that.
where'd the Eagles open their season 2 years ago when they won the
That's
Super
right,
Bowl?
Sao Paulo.
And
Yeah.
Those people, did you see the poll of the Brazilians? They think that Philadelphia is the most beautiful city
It
they've
wasn't
ever
a poll.
seen.
It was a straight up interview.
Yeah, the guy said,
but then they did the poll on it.
It's a straight up interview.
The people who traveled did the thing, and they're like, Philadelphia's the most wonderful place.
Everybody's
and they love
friendly.
It. I love it that
When the guy said that, I was like, God
I
bless.
love it. We're putting our best foot forward.
We are.
We don't
Awesome.
even think that about our city, and I love it.
No.
Yeah,
we're
but
putting our
we're
best foot
great with welcoming in
course we are.
outsiders when it's not first and 10.
Well, as long as they're not
fourth
from the
quarter.
other team.
Right. Like, other than that, like,
Come
the
on
amount
over.
of times
It is a friendly city.
The amount of times we've gone on road trips, Philly sports trips, right? True fan travel. Oh man, you guys actually aren't that
You
bad.
guys aren't that bad at people. I'm like, yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're just on our best behavior.
No, Philadelphia's very, very friendly,
It's
including
so nice.
some of the people on our sports teams. I would say most of the people on our sports teams. But did you guys see how Jalix Hunt spent his week?
This is an awesome story.
I did not.
It's an awesome story.
They've got time off in between mandatory mini camp and training camp, so the guys are just bouncing around doing whatever. Jalix Hunt went to a high school graduation. Not for somebody he's related to, not for a family member or anybody, not for anyone he knows. He went to the high school graduation of a kid who runs the Jalix Hunt Enthusiast Instagram account.
No,
How about that?
Oh, dude, I love that.
Isn't that wonderful? Now, supposedly, Jalix reached out, right? Like,
Yeah,
hearing about the.
Yeah, I did
like,
find
reached
out about
to
it. Yeah.
find out about, when are you graduating and everything like that. What a great kid. And
That's
he showed
awesome,
up, and he
man.
showed up at his graduation just to, like, represent for the kid the way the kid represents
Aw,
for
dude,
him.
That's cool. I love those
I think
Stats
that's
Muse accounts.
That to me
that's
is
my favorite.
amazing.
Some of them are weird. Like there was an Adalis Garcia one, and I don't know how that
Short-lived.
was created.
Short-lived.
Did not last long. I feel bad for that guy.
Sorry.
Because he's a big
He was
Adalis Garcia
thinking,
fan.
like, maybe I'll hitch my wagon here.
Yeah, maybe it catches on.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
That's an awesome
That's a
story.
really cool story.
Yes,
What a
it
nice
is.
kid.
Let's go from a heartwarming to, I don't know if it's very heartbreaking, but it's not exactly a happy story for Ryan Weathers and the New York Yankees. So Weathers has been struggling lately, and the Yes TV broadcast had their sideline reporter, Meredith Marakovitz, doing...
Marakovitz.
Marakovitz? I apologize, and that's why it's important to have Amy in here. Appreciate you, Amy. Marakovitz was doing the report on Ryan Weathers and his recent struggles on the mound. The timing, well, let's just say move over Mike Yancey.
His frustration was really boiling over when I spoke to him after his last start, telling me, I am sick and tired of putting this team in a hole.
Man, he might have done it again. That ball is long gone.
Poor Mayor.
Just right into an immediate nuke.
Poor
She's
Mayor.
great, by the way.
She used to work here.
All right, which one's better, that or the Gansey?
Oh, Gansey's worse.
Gansey. Because Gansey was so
Gansey's worse.
enthused. She's telling a story. Obviously, the timing of it is really bad.
Yeah.
Gansey was like, he was like feeling good.
And it was the first pitch after he says, and the no-hitter's still intact.
He was like, this is so great. We're here. It's 8-0. There's a no-hitter. And I was like, oh, no,
and you
Mike.
hear Kruk say, oh, no.
No.
And then literally next
Gansey's a
pitch.
big baseball fan. He was like, I talked to him before they went down there because we were over at the ballpark, Ricky and I were.
Yeah.
And so I stopped by and said hello to some of the special guests that were going to be on. And he was like, I want to throw out first pitch. I'm a huge baseball fan.
Big Guardians fan, I would
So,
imagine.
yes.
Being the
So he was
man.
excited to meet Ruben Amaro, who was with the Indians when they went to the ALCS in 1995. World Series.
That roster was freaking
Rick Vaughn, Pedro Serrano. Good team.
Yeah, Ruben Amaro took the spot of Dave Winfield on that roster for the World Series, FYI. So Gansey was like so excited.
That's
She's like, I want to
awesome.
throw out the first pitch baseball. And I was like, a baseball guy, you should have known better, Mike. Like, you can't say things like no hitter.
No, you can't.
Oh, he's got a perfect game going.
Yeah, pre-prepared story by someone working for the team or with the broadcast
it's not great.
is
It's not great, Mayor.
Well, that's different than a guy that doesn't need to say, we got a no-hitter.
And then the
Look at
very next pitch.
Oh, I felt so bad.
No hitter, bro.
Oh, Meredith, man. She's literally talking a story about like, hey, I can't keep putting my team in a. Oh, yes, you can.
There you go.
Oh, you did it, though.
Well, you heard Amy. It's a Fry with Fadul.
Hi,
Amy's
everybody.
already here, so I guess we'll introduce you next segment because
All right.
let's stick with the consistency here. Amy Fadul joins us in studio coming up next. Are the Phillies stuck? If we played I Am Who I Am, It Is What It Is with Ben Simmons, does that work for the Phillies as well? The poll is fascinating, and I can't wait to check it again. We'll do that next. And where's the level of interest for you with the World Cup? You can tell us that you want us to talk about all you want, but, like, are you locked in? We'll talk about it. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Mets take Game 1. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped Game 1 to the New York Mets 6-4 last night. Juan Soto homering twice in the opener. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs in relief as his rough season continues. Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. Doesn't seem to be anything majorly serious, but he could not play for the remainder of yesterday's game. Don Mattingly talked about Jose Alvarado's struggles after the game.
It was one of those games with Alvy. You feel better about him in a tighter game. And obviously tonight he had a couple chances. So I felt like you're in a good spot with him. I mean, the ball's coming out. It's not like he's down in velo or anything like that. We just got to get the ball to the right spots.
But it's been a rough year. He has not been getting the ball in the right spot enough. The Phillies are off today to make room for the World Cup match in South Philadelphia. Christopher Sanchez goes tomorrow. Wheeler in Game 3. Brazil takes on Haiti at 8:30 p.m. in that World Cup match in South Philly. And Team USA faces Australia at 3 p.m. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers have the number 22 overall pick. The NHL draft starts next Friday. Flyers drafted number 21 overall. And Wyndham Clark leads the U.S. Open after one day at Shinnecock, 6 under his score. Amy Fadul in studio with us for the rest of the show. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN joins us at 9 a.m. Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad at 9:30 to talk some World Cup. This update is brought to you by Rosenbaum Injury Law. If you've been injured, don't settle for less because winning means everything. Call Rosenbaum and Associates today for a free consultation. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Got something to say about
First of all, starting the tweet with sorry Philly fans. Like, what are you sorry about? Like, what do we need to be sorry about? Like, the New York Knicks fans who looked like absolute trash half of this finals, and I know it's not all of them, half of this finals doing the stuff they were doing in the streets, beating people up, doing all this ridiculous stuff. That, number one, we're supposed to feel good for them? Or how about the fans that came down to Xfinity Mobile Arena and they chanted bleep and bead as loud as they possibly could every single time they were in the building? We're supposed to feel good for them? And then even if they didn't do any of that stuff, even if they were the greatest fans in the world, we're Philadelphia. That's New York. New York looks down on this city. They've always looked down on this city. They've always accused us of being a second-rate city. We're supposed to feel good? Oh, but poor Knicks fans. They've waited since 1973, and if you don't appreciate that, you don't like sports. Get the hell out of here with that. I'm not going to feel good for these ridiculous Knicks fans. Do you think those Knicks fans felt good for Philadelphia in Super Bowl 52? Were they out on the street saying, wow, look how united the city of Philadelphia is. Yay, Philly. Yay. Come on with that stuff. Get out of here. And every fan is coming at Sealski, and they're right. Like, don't lecture the city of Philadelphia. With what we've had to put up with from New York, we're now supposed to be, yay, Knicks fans. Like, I appreciate what Brunson did and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. Like, I feel good for the players. They deserved it. They earned it. They're a likable team. But to sit here and lecture the Philadelphia fans that we're supposed to feel good for the Knicks fans? Come on, Mike.
Coming up at 10, Middays with Marks. Now more of Kincade and Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It is 8 a.m. on Kincade and Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic. Is it a Friday with Fadul? Amy Fadul in studio with us.
Hi.
Amy, good morning. We haven't talked to you yet.
Hey, it's so good to see you guys for the first time this morning.
It's a golfing Friday.
Amy, how do you feel about this 5? We're going to talk about the World Cup later on this segment.
All right. I'm in it.
Events that I don't care about any other time, like the sport itself,
You got
until
5
the event
of them?
happens.
Okay.
Number 5, hot dog eating contest on July 4th. I don't watch eating competitions,
Well,
but I watch the hot dog eating contest.
yeah.
Number 4, skiing during the Olympics. I don't watch skiing,
Okay.
but I love all the skiing events.
In your defense, I don't think it's a lot of television on those.
I'm sure I could
Two
find
other
it somewhere.
sports you could. The Ocho.
Swimming in the Olympics. I don't watch
Again.
swimming competitions. The Masters. I don't watch golf.
See, that's crazy.
But I watch the Masters, and it's my second favorite one because the World Cup is my favorite of the event. I don't watch soccer.
What about horse racing? You watch that?
I don't even watch the.
I
don't
brought
care.
that up too.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
of course.
Interesting.
I missed it this year. I just wanted to know if
That's a good one.
Carlos Ruiz won or what was the guy that I so happy. That was the one that I.
So happy.
That was the guy that
Chooch.
I
was so happy, man.
Chooch would have been a heck of a jockey.
That's
the horse
who-
would be still running.
That's who I picked to win, and he did not. All right, Amy, we're talking Phillies a lot this morning because the Fightins were in action yesterday and unfortunately lost to the Mets. And even though he settled down, it was painful to have to watch Andrew Painter get shelled in 2 innings, sent down in the minors, and the very next night it's, all right, this one will be better, and you put on the TV, and there's Aaron Nola. And Aaron Nola gets crushed in the first inning.
It was better, but the bar was low.
Yes. He settled in. It's not his fault they lost yesterday. Jose Alvarado being a mess this year
That
is the
was,
reason why you lost. But the Phillies are. Do you have the Ben Simmons drop? This is who the Phillies are.
We lost. It sucks. I am who I am. It is what it is.
The Phillies are contenders. World Series contenders. There's a fascinating poll today that we have running that we'll give you the updated votes on in a minute here. But the Phillies are World Series contenders. When you can throw out there in Game 1, Christopher Sanchez, in Game 2, Zach Wheeler, in Game 3, Jesus Luzardo, in any given series against any baseball team, even the Los Angeles Dodgers, you have a chance of winning that night, even if it has to be.
You showed it last fall. You showed it.
You did. Even if it has to be 1-0, you have a chance of winning because you have those great starting pitching. You have a fantastic closer. You do have guys in your lineup that have Hall of Fame resumes.
That have shown to produce at times.
And they have produced in big moments. They've also completely disappeared in big moments, as we've seen. We saw them get to a World Series. We saw them get to another NLCS. We also know why they lost those, because they disappeared. So they are who they are. It is what it is.
Oh, geez.
There's nobody they can really add because there's no right-handed bat that's going to save this lineup. There's a 5th starter that you might trade for that probably won't pitch much in the postseason anyway.
They'll get a bullpen.
You may need him
They'll
to
get a
get
bullpen
there.
And they need to. And unfortunately, that might be the biggest move they have to make because we're going to talk about right-handed bat till we're blue in the face. There's nobody out there. Bullpen arms will be available. Brad Keller not being that good this year and Jose Alvarado stinking this year is going to cost them a pretty penny because they can't, once again, waste the starting pitching, waste Joe Anderon, and as you look at the lineup and the ages, you realize that the window is still open, but it's closing.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to probably pay pretty big for a bullpen arm.
Yeah, and they're not in a position, as you mentioned, they're not in a position to really just kind of let themselves dictate it. The market will have to be like, oh, you need this? Well, here's the price because you're not in a great position because of that, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's other people that are also interested in bullpen arms. I mean, it's one of the things that you need in the postseason. It's not a secret. This isn't like some earth-shattering thought process. So it puts them at a disadvantage because they are in desperate need of it. They can't just keep waiting for these guys to, quote, figure it out.
Right.
But there's also a lot of other teams that are going to be fighting in that spot when it comes to the trade deadline. They're going to put themselves in position and think, oh, well, if we could solidify our pen, then we'll be great. We'll be ready. The Phillies like the idea of maybe having some of the guys on the farm come up and try that. This is the time to try those things like the Seth Johnson move and different things like that to see if you can find something on the cheap, but it's going to come at a price because you're going to need a high leverage guy.
You know what's going to be fascinating? Because we talked about this earlier in the week. Jeff Passan had an article where he wrote all the trade candidates and like the percentage chances they get traded and who are the teams that are in on them.
Is that the one that had Tarek Skubal on it?
Yes, he was number one, believe it or not.
Shockingly.
Yes.
And all the teams listed were every single team.
Yes.
We didn't really talk about it because we said, I can't imagine 2 straight years, major prospect spending for a reliever.
Right.
But if they don't have a lefty option that they can turn to, the Chapman talk's going to get loud. It would cost a ton.
Which is wild because you look at the age of Aroldis Chapman and you're thinking there's no way he can still do it. And yet you look at the numbers every single year, you think there's just no way.
Yeah.
It's wild to me. He's still touching 100, and he's been doing it for season after season.
And effectively. Because Alvarado's still touching 99, but
he's not throwing
getting touched
101.
up.
Exactly. To me, that's the most remarkable thing. I thought that guy's arm would fall off by now.
It is. It's weird to be in the position because we talked about where the word that Connor used at the beginning of the show that we talked about from earlier in the week, the stuck word.
Yeah.
The Phillies are just so stuck. There just is. They don't have the prospects to deal to be, I don't think, in the mix for the top of the line guys. They don't have the contracts that they're saddled with. They're pretty much stuck with who they have. This is what you got. You just got to be hoping that come October, they've pushed the right buttons and the guys are playing good ball at the time that they need to be playing good ball.
Yeah.
But I don't. It would not shock me at all if the Phillies go out there and it's August, September, and they play some good ball and then turn it on in October. It wouldn't shock me at all if they put together 4 good weeks of baseball in October, made a push, got to the NLCS, even got to a World Series. I wouldn't be like, man, I cannot believe that happened.
Because you look at the players and you're thinking, of course, like you're not going to. And I think that's a good thing. Also, I think it's true for a lot of baseball. You look around the league, and I know we've talked about this before. The batting averages are so far down.
Yeah.
The number of people that are huge players that are consistently batting 285, that are so much closer to the Mendoza line than they've ever been in their career. You look at why a team like the Padres are scuffling because all their top guys are batting like 190.
Yeah.
It's wild to me, but that's. And the Phillies have that. You see all the batting averages, 214, 213, 225. You wonder when it's going to turn on for everybody else, if it's going to be at the same time. I mean, if it turns on for the Phillies in September, that's best. If it turns on in July and then back off again, that's not what you're looking for.
Seen that before.
And two, we got to remember, in 22, the Phillies backed into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They didn't go. They had their best run they were Game 6 of the World Series, but they didn't play well going into the playoffs.
Yeah, they got hot.
They got hot in the playoffs, and it sort of was like the 9th inning rally lit the fuse. That was the thing. And remember in 23, they got out to the big lead and sort of puttered their way into the playoffs. It doesn't necessarily mean they got to be playing like 750 ball in September to mean that they're going to get somewhere.
Right.
Yeah,
so
you got to get hot at the right time.
You never know. But this group has shown
I hate hearing it.
But this group has shown you, with this starting pitching, it can happen.
So,
it
Connor,
really could happen.
Read the poll before giving the results. I want to hear Amy's answer to it. Poll of the day brought to us by Dr. Avidan Appel and the team at Iron Mountain Men's Health. The polls are strong here on Kincade and Salciunas for 4 hours every single morning. Thanks to Dr. Avidan Appel. You can do with that information however you want to do it.
Now, the results have slightly moved, so we'll get to that in a second. But our
Okay.
question, if you do not believe that the Phillies are World Series contenders as is, do you believe that they will be able to elevate to contenders with trade deadline moves? 3 options for you, Aim. Yes, no, or already contenders.
Where would you vote?
Oh, already contenders.
That's why I voted.
Yeah, I mean,
And
of
I
those
hated
choices, like that's why, like you saw the look on my face, and I was like, I was waiting for like, I don't know, an 8th option. I guess I would vote that because on paper they are.
and you have those three pitchers. I have such a love-hate relationship with this team. I think I hate more than I love, other than the fact that they're the Phillies and they're the laundry, and I love them.
Because you know what's going to happen, you feel like.
But I can't ignore Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo. You absolutely can't ignore it. So what's the percentages that we got now?
Amy, welcome to the 6% of people that voted already contenders.
This is truly incredible.
So is that down
We've
from
never
earlier?
had. Yes, it's down by 2%.
It is down, but something else is up. So 26% now, which is higher than what we had before, are saying yes, that they believe the Phillies can make those moves. But 68%, still the large majority, saying no.
Say no. 68% say not a chance.
If the Dodgers were in the American League, it would change.
But
right?
we've never had it like this, where this small a percentage of the poll is saying something, and every one of us feels that way.
Well, because it's exhaustion. You could look.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing
And it's
about
also
the Sixers.
it's PTSD also carried over from the last couple of postseasons. It's like,
well, shouldn't
it
we
doesn't
have the same PTSD?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I could have voted. I definitely wouldn't have voted no. I would have voted either the 26% or the or lowly 6%. I haven't even voted. Maybe I can get it up to 7%. Just because you look at the talent, you're thinking yes, but I guess we're trying to be too. Are we too objective?
Look, if you ask me, I will tell you right now, no, I do not believe that the Philadelphia Phillies are winning the World Series. Like, I don't believe that. My preseason prediction was NLCS appearance. They lose to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I'm kind of sticking with that as long as, or whenever they face the Dodgers,
right?
Because it could be in the first round, that their season comes to an end. They're not close to the Dodgers. I don't think they're close. Even though they played them tough last year, they still lost in 4.
Okay, wait a minute now. Here's what I'm going to get. They were absolutely close to the Dodgers. They blew the games.
They won
last
one
year.
They blew the games.
Last year when Trey Turner was the batting leader.
But they should have won those. I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. But they blew those games.
They did.
They should have won those games. If Ranger Suarez comes out of the bullpen in game number 1, they win that game. When it was 4-1, Ranger could have entered that game and they could have won that game.
If Jose Alvarado doesn't do
I mean,
PEDs,
they could have won that game.
David Robertson doesn't get an up down for no reason.
It's like there's so many
if
things.
they had a right-handed bat that could hit, what year is it? Maybe their bats don't go ice cold.
How about a human in the outfield?
Yeah.
They were
Bader
right.
doesn't get hurt.
The mistakes they made.
Yeah, they were closer.
The self-inflicted wounds that they did
All right, let me
in
ask
that
something.
series.
They were closer to the Dodgers than the Sixers were to the Knicks.
I'm going to ask John
by far.
Kincade a really difficult question, Connor.
All right.
I'm going to look at Connor when I ask the question. Do you believe Trey Turner's defense will be better this year in the playoffs?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So the one bad throw by Trey Turner, you mean the guy that you call a butcher, the guy that's
he is a butcher.
Statistically one of the worst fielding shortstops in Major League Baseball. Is he going to make the throw this time?
No, I don't believe it.
Probably not.
Believe it. But hopefully a critical ball doesn't find him. That's all I can hope for.
He's the shortstop.
I know, exactly.
No,
odds
but
are
a
the
critical
ball's going his way.
No, but I mean it's weird. Is that in 22?
You can hide that guy in right field.
In
you
22
can't hide him in
and
shortstop.
In 22 and 25, his defense cost him.
Yes.
His defense cost them. In 22, it cost them.
23, you mean?
23, excuse me.
Yeah.
In Arizona, it cost them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not good.
So
he's not good.
So you're right.
Two
Like,
of the
they
4
were
years,
close.
2 of the 4 years, but they're right. But it was self-inflicted wounds,
right?
That cost them. You have a 4-0 lead on Shohei Ohtani. That's a game. If Rob Thompson just does what he told you he was set up to do before the game, and he doesn't do it,
they still don't win that series to me.
Yeah.
Well, you see, they're at Game 5 back at Citizens Bank Park. I'll see what happens. I absolutely will
They
see
didn't
what
win
happens.
a single game at Citizens Bank Park.
I understand. You go to Game 5 back at Citizens Bank Park. There's no reason to believe, especially when they were in. And Game 1 and Game 2, they had a chance to win both those games.
All right. Connor said we have an interesting Twitter response. What we got?
Yes, we do. This comes from DC Fever with the Washington Nationals logo as their profile picture.
Attitude.
And they say,
There you go.
Philly fans are tough on their team. They should realize all the Phillies need to do is get into the playoffs, which they will. Once in, game on, never count out the Phillies from the outside fan perspective. Are we being too tough on our team?
I agree.
No, we're not being, again, an attitude, man.
Attitude.
I appreciate your tweet. Thanks for letting us take over your ballpark every single summer. If this was year 1 of the Phillies getting to the playoffs, yes, we'd be too hard on the Phillies.
Yeah.
They have lost in the first round back-to-back years, choked away in NLCS.
And this isn't just like
had a 2-1 series lead in the
people
World Series.
piling on, like the media piling on. The Phillies know that they've come up short.
Yeah.
You talk to the players, they know what's at stake this year. They know how they started the season, how they're coming up, trying to dig themselves out of that 9-19 hole. This is not like breaking news of Philadelphia fans are hard on. The city's hard on their teams because the expectations are, we want you to do well. It's not a blasé fan base. But these players know that they've taken a step back every postseason. They know that the bats have been. You talk to them about it. It's not like they're hiding from it. So I feel like that there's that misnomer of like, oh, we're so hard on. Yes, we are, but they're hard on themselves.
By the way, the Nationals fan got to watch his team make the playoffs and win a World Series. Period. Right? They didn't make the playoffs the year before. They made the playoffs. They win the World Series.
Yeah.
Done.
His point is very true, which is, what we're also trying to say is that if they get in, there's always a chance. But as they're set up right now, you're thinking, I don't know that you have enough. I don't know that you have enough. So maybe I should change my answer to the 26%. Like, yes, they could make some moves. It just, those moves are kind of in a vacuum. I don't know how they're going to do them.
All right, answer me this question. How did the Nationals win the World Series? 7 games
Pitching.
Against the Houston Astros.
Pitching.
The Dynasty Houston Astros. Here was your starting lineup for
they
the
stopped
Watch
cheating.
Nationals.
The Astros stopped cheating.
Trey Turner, leadoff. This was when Trey Turner actually hit the baseball. Adam Eaton, he was a solid outfielder. He was their 2-hole hitter. Anthony Rendon still cared about baseball.
He did.
He batted third.
He did care, yeah.
Juan Soto at wasn't he 19 at the time?
That's ridiculous.
Was it? I think he was
maybe 20.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
that's if you believe the birth certificate.
He batted fourth. Howie Kendrick, still with the Phillies coaching staff? Question mark.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Howie Kendrick was
Solid.
their 5-hole hitter. Asdrubal Cabrera batted 6th for that team. Ryan Zimmerman, who started the Nationals, batted 7th. That Jan Gomes was behind the dish.
Oh, my gosh.
And Victor Robles was the center fielder.
I swear to you, I could have named 4. You just did those names. I could have named 4 of them.
Yeah.
And you think of World Series champions?
They won the World Series, that team, man.
And they did something that no other team had done, too. Do you remember?
But they also...
What was that?
They won in 7, and they did not win a home game.
Oh, I do remember that.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's right.
They won every game on the road.
Well, it's because they took the trash cans away down in Houston.
That's
so.
a good point. But you're right.
That's
The pitching.
incredible.
Look, the pitching.
It's the pitching.
Yeah, they had
But
Max
those guys
Scherzer,
they all had
Corbin
really
was
good numbers during the postseason.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Zimmerman had like a pedestrian year, but he actually really came to play. Like the numbers really came out to fruition. Those guys played like the back of their baseball card type of vibe.
Yeah.
They all really did come to play. So they didn't bat 210.
And that's what the Phillies need. They need guys at the back of the baseball card.
Show up.
Like I heard
It's
Middays.
such a cliche, but it's funny. It makes me like.
I don't need everybody. I
Nah.
need 5 of them though.
Right.
Not
no,
one.
But it's such a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
This is a hot take. Kyle Schwarber has sucked in the playoffs. I love Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber makes ball go boom and hits 50 home runs. But the last 2 postseasons has done literally nothing. And we don't
He's
want to
done
say it because of
nothing.
Hoagie Fest, and we love him. And Kyle Schwarber, he's great, yards and all that stuff. He's
Not literally nothing. He had a multi-home run game in the only game you won
in the
that
only game he
series.
won. You're right. But then he did nothing
And he
else.
did nothing.
He hasn't done
in
enough.
that series, and he did nothing except for the leadoff
You can't
home run against the Mets.
do something in
2024.
one game of a 4-game
But
series.
he's not alone.
Well, yeah, and that's one of my favorite things is that people have. It's like what do they call it? The Nelson Mandela effect. Like you remember things differently because you thought it was like one thing, and I can't remember the origination of it, but everybody thinks like, oh, this, and this, whatever.
This happened.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? But
yes,
it didn't.
this happened.
So
but
people
it didn't.
think that like Kyle Schwarber, for whatever, maybe has like great stat. People think that Bryce Harper is a terrible postseason player.
And he's one of the
which is
best of all time.
Laughable.
Top 10
I
player
literally
of
had
all
this
He's
time.
never
conversation.
won anything.
I've had this
Yeah.
conversation like, yeah, he batted like, but the guy will they'll make up numbers, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Sir, this is a Wendy's. Like, what's happening right now? But they just assume because he's never won the World Series,
Yeah, he stinks.
that he's just terrible. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then you started to point out the numbers. Yeah, but that was in a loss. Well, sorry, it was
He's
he
one of
was
the
the
be-
NLCS MVP.
I think he's
that
one
was
of
in
the
a
best
win,
of all
Fred.
time. Like,
Mike
sort
Schmidt,
of like his
you know that
numbers
Mike
are
Schmidt
great.
had hit 500 solo home runs?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Bobby Abreu,
no.
too.
No, what's funny is you listen to your dad is of the age that it's at the very end of that.
Yeah.
The end of the people.
Mike Schmidt's 500 solo home runs. That's got to be a major
I'm
league
telling you,
record.
the professional athletes of Philadelphia today who think they are ridden hard and overly criticized, if they had ever lived in the Jaws generation, the Mike Schmidt generation, everything, they would be sitting in their lockers sucking their
Where
thumbs.
Larry Boa admitted sometimes they preferred playing on the road.
Sucking their thumbs. But Larry Boa stood up to it.
Yeah, no.
And the Philly
that's why he's
fans
still the
loved
best.
it because he
Everybody
stood up
loves
to
him.
it.
Yeah.
And they loved him for it.
Yeah. So
All right, coming up
always skew
next,
those.
Amy, we got into a discussion about Jalen Carter earlier in the 6 o'clock hour. If you missed it, we'll get into it coming up next. Jalen Carter, a report kind of from Albert Breer about the contract, and we'll get into the discussion. But I also have a bunch of random topics where I'm just going to ask John, Amy, and Connor to give me a yes or no answer. Like, there's just a lot of things on my mind right now. And so you guys will be the guinea pigs to tell me if they will happen or not. All right? That comes your way next here on The Fanatic.
Hey, I want to tell you about my friends at Benari Jewelers. And when I say friends, a lot of times you think of business, you don't think they're friends. But I've been back to Benari Jewelers so many times during my time in Philadelphia that I can tell you, you will feel confident when you make a buying relationship with them. Why? Well, not only do they offer you their fantastic 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. That means down the road when you're ready to upgrade, your diamond will never lose its value. That's a great peace of mind. That's a company standing behind their product. But also, too, they make sure that you're comfortable with the buying decision. They've got a beautiful showrooms, whether it's Exton or Newtown Square, where they can show you all the hand-selected stones and some of the world's top diamond cutters providing those beautiful rocks for you. And then you go in, and they can help you create the ring of your dreams, or go look at their jewelry everywhere. It's beautiful. Hand-selected stones, they are the best. You will absolutely love Benari Jewelers. Exton in Newtown Square. You can do a little window shopping online, too, early at BenariJewelers.com. Tell them John Kincade sent you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies come up short. I'm Connor Thomas. The Phillies dropped game 1 to the Mets 6-4 last night as Juan Soto homered twice for New York. The Phillies tried to mount a late inning comeback, but unfortunately came up short. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs in relief as his rough season continued. And Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. Don Mattingly talked after the game about Turner's status.
Well, they're calling it calf contusion. Towards the bottom where it starts getting in the Achilles. He was having trouble putting pressure, pushing off. Hopefully it's day off tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be good by the night game. We'll see.
The Phillies do have a strange Friday off today as the World Cup is in South Philadelphia, so they'll play Saturday and Sunday to round out that series with the Mets. Sanchez, Wheeler, the pitchers for the next 2 games. Brazil takes on Haiti tonight at 8:30 p.m., Philly's second World Cup match of the tournament. And Team USA is playing out in Seattle. They take on Australia at 3 p.m. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers still looking at what to do with pick number 22. The NHL draft starts next Friday night. Flyers at pick number 21. In golf, Wyndham Clark is currently leading the U.S. Open with a score of 6 under. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN will join us coming up at 9 o'clock. Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad at 9:30. This update is brought to you by Philadelphia Soccer 2026. Join fans from around the world at the free 39-day FIFA Fan Festival at Lemon Hill. Enjoy live match broadcasts, entertainment, and unforgettable energy all summer long. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
And the Knicks fans? And the Knicks fans? Come on, Mike.
So let's do that. Now, Andrew Salciunas has the day off today. It is not because of a clip that went viral from our show last week about Jalen Hurts. He's got regular vacation, but he was getting ripped because he said his number one question for the Eagles this year is about Jalen Hurts' performance at the quarterback position with the change in offense, Sean Mannion now taking over. What is your evaluation of that? Is that your number one question?
My number one question for this team this year would be if the offensive line can stay healthy and hold up. And it's not a very sexy question, right? Like, if the offensive line isn't healthy, we can't get Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens and Lane Johnson back to health. I don't care what plays Sean Mannion's calling. They're not going to have much of a chance. The offensive line has to be better. It has to be healthier. They've been the foundation of that team for so long. They've been responsible for so much success. We're talking about elite, all-time Eagle talents. So I don't say this in a critical way, but I say it in a way in which the offensive line has had to play through some injuries, and it's aging. And are they going to hold up and hold together? If they do, it's going to be a great season. If they don't, it's not. To me, that's where it starts.
The San Loquido piece that came out with Carson Wentz, and So there was a lot of defense of Carson. I guess what I'm saying is, independent of Carson Wentz, does it feel like the Eagles have Jalen Hurts' back after everything that's been put out there in the media and everything?
I mean, I don't feel like they've run the bus over him, but I do remember when the Carson Wentz article came out. They went into a damage control mode. I think they had Carson meeting with some reporters afterward to give his side of the story and clear the air. And I don't know if their reaction this time around is a result of that, like a byproduct of, do we really have to do this every time, because it's really not necessary, or if it's because they just don't. I don't think it's because of their relationship with Jalen Hurts right now. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that it's Philly. This is going to happen. Stories are going to come out. It's been coming out even before Carson. So you have different people in charge now too. It's not Doug Peterson and his crew anymore. So I thought Howie didn't do the greatest job of backing up Jalen Hurts, but I also didn't think he was rolling the. Some people interpret it as that's messaging from Howie. I didn't interpret it that way at all.
With Lamar, it's changed.
You're right.
But he's won the MVP and he's never made a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not 25 years old, right? Josh Allen, as far as I'm concerned, needs to start getting criticized. Because if you're going to hold everybody to the same standard, then guess what, Josh, you haven't been to a Super Bowl. It can't be the team's fault every time. Joe Burrow took a terrible organization to the Super Bowl, right? So Joe Burrow, just by going to a Super Bowl, kind of gets checked off that list. It's like, all right, you're not in the same. No, like Justin Herbert. What are we doing here? Justin Herbert's not in this rookie contract.
Nope.
Justin Herbert's lost how many big games?
A lot.
A lot, right? Is it all his fault? It doesn't matter if it's all his fault. It doesn't matter. It's the quarterback. And Justin Herbert, how many playoff games has Justin Herbert won? Has he? Has he won one?
Didn't he just win one?
I think he won one.
I know he threw a bunch of interceptions in that one game against Houston. That was the loss, obviously. And I think last year he was able to get a win, right? Let me pull that up.
All I'm saying is at what point do these quarterbacks start getting criticized? Lamar Jackson's fair game. He's not
The Fanatic.
All right, coming up in about 5 minutes, I have a list of random Philadelphia yes or no questions.
Okay.
That we don't have to spend much time on, but I'm just curious to see where you guys are at because I've been contemplating all these questions in my head over the last couple of days, and we already had too many topics yesterday, Amy, that I couldn't throw in 12 more. And today we've tried to do a more centralized approach, talking a lot about the Phillies, but we also have Jalen Carter, and that will be one of the yes or no questions is Jalen Carter. But the report from Albert Breer yesterday, he was asked, he did a mailbag of questions. Somebody asked him about Jalen Carter's contract, and he wrote the following for Sports Illustrated. So the fact that we're into June without Jalen Carter having a deal is notable, and I'd guess if they do one now before his fourth season as a pro, then it'd come with flexibility for the team. If Carter won't give them that flexibility now, maybe he'll just wait another year, which would make this a little like the George Pickens situation in Dallas, where a team might want to see a little more from a player, just from a character perspective before committing long-term. Amy, John and I both said this morning, if we were GMs of the Eagles, and maybe this is why we're not, we would sign him today to the extension because of how talented he is, even though we know it'll be the highest paid defensive tackle in the NFL, and we understand all of the questions. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way, or are you okay with let's see how this goes? We're doing that with Jalen Hurts, but that's a different reason. The Jalen Carter, the talent, you can't question it. But there's a lot of things to think about sometimes.
Yeah. When we talked about this, and I think I was like 99.9% like absolutely just do the deal, get it done, don't mess with it, because the way the Eagles have operated, they try to get in deals. They try to get in lower than maybe what they think the market's going to be set. This is not the case. This guy will set the market. Sure. We all know that. There's not a surprise. I lean though towards waiting.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, to me, it's such a huge number because you don't get. So you look at the contracts that they had, the extension they had for Jalen Hurts, the extension they did for Devontae, the extension they did for AJ Brown at the time. Those came in under market value in the end. They looked great at the time, and they were great. It's not like these guys are getting paid, a couple of bucks. There were millions and millions of dollars. But it turns out to be very low comparatively to what they produced and what their counterparts produced. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, all on the outside of the top 5 as far as contracts and salary, though they are all top 5. And I said that. Jalen Hurts went to a Super Bowl under this contract. So to me, it's antithetical of what the Eagles usually do because they try to get in. Because of that, I had that like tiny reluctance right there. I need to see exactly if you're going to carry yourself the way.
Yeah, it's not talent that you need to see.
No.
Of. It's
I need you to show up in shape.
Else.
I need you to play that way every single game. I need you to be a professional about it. We talked about this with Jordan Davis. He had a prove it year, right? He show me that you're going to show up in shape and that you can be an every down guy if we're asked of you. Not just a run stopper, not just a guy that comes out there in certain scenarios. If you want to get paid some top dollar, you have to be more than just a one-trick pony. Jordan Davis came in shape. He has taken over a leadership role, and he got rewarded last year as such. And he proved that he is that guy. I need to see that from Jalen Carter. Not on the field as much, except for maybe, don't spit at people.
Don't spit at people.
Right.
Now, the only thing
is,
though,
sentence you never thought you'd have to say.
Is Jalen Carter going into Jordan Davis's prove it year? His reputation around the NFL was not game wrecker. The third most double-teamed guy since Jalen Carter's entered the NFL. He's the third most double-teamed player in the sport. Mm-hmm. Jordan Davis isn't a game wrecker like that.
Right. No. So comparatively, there's the talent-wise isn't. And that's no knock on Jordan Davis. I mean, Jalen Carter is elite, maybe the best, if not the best, at his position. Certainly one of two, and he'll be paid as such. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned with his production on the field as much as showing up in shape.
You definitely would not be into any even considering parting ways with him.
No, God, no.
Okay, so then you're going to pay him a ton more if you wait another year.
I just need him to know. I guess it's the holding the idea of
carrot.
I need you to know that this is a really, really big deal. Like, this is a huge contract you're up for. We need you to come as the professional that you're getting paid as. You're getting paid more than Chris Jones, who is the elite at that position, right? He is the top dog. Everybody knows this. He is a game wrecker. He is a guy that controls that defense in and out of the locker room. You don't say that about Jalen Carter. You say it about him on the field.
Right.
But if I'm paying you to be that guy, you have to be that guy everywhere. You got to be that guy in the offseason. You have to be that guy in training camp. You got to be that guy in the locker room. You got to be that guy at practice. The field is great. I feel like I'm talking about Allen Iverson. But you have to be that guy all the time.
Yeah.
You're paid that way.
I see a comment from my man 215 J Philly on Twitter. He goes, yes, you can debate the talent. Chunas, shaking my head. What? They're not paying him because they are questioning his talent. That's what this is about.
They're not questioning
I don't think
the
they question his talent.
Whether you like him or not. I do like him.
Did you question Aaron Donald?
No, they're not questioning his talent.
No, his talent.
They're questioning his dedication
Everything
to
else.
his craft,
Yeah.
his immaturity, things like that. Which, by the way, they questioned at Georgia.
Well, and the
They
thing
questioned
is,
at Georgia.
if let's just take one instance. If it was just a singular instance, and pick whichever one you want, whether it's the conditioning, whether it's
Being
the
late.
late to meetings,
Yeah.
whether it's the spitting. If it was just those one-off, you'd still have that question. But I just named 3 things that are kind of like,
By the way, 3
not
things
great.
that happened in the same calendar year. Like he showed up out of football shape to the training camp in the season in which he got ejected in the first game of the season because he spat on somebody, and then was later benched that same year because he was late to meetings.
Maybe Mercury is in retrograde or something.
and the conditioning has been an issue before. That's not new. That wasn't just last year. It wasn't. It's been one of those things. He's been talked about a lot. I mean, it's just one of those things. And so you're just kind of thinking like, well.
But I'm still signing him today. Like
I'm still hoping to sign him.
Hey,
I'm
Andrew
still going to
Salciunas,
sign him.
do you want to give Jalen Carter the contract extension right now? Yes. My answer is yes.
I do. Okay, can I ask this? Is that because hearing you talk and you make good points. Did you want to, are you for paying Jalen Hurts now or not?
No.
Okay, wait a minute now.
I don't want to pay either of them right
now. If
now.
you're not paying either one of them right now.
Who am I paying? No one.
What are you doing with that money?
It's sitting in. It's in my escrow. It's in my escrow.
USA money line versus Australia.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, and then if
I'm
you
double
hit
the cap space.
Like some,
I mean, it's not realistic.
Okay,
They're going to pay
it's
Jalen
not
Carter.
realistic. You got to. Okay, if I said to you, because Howie's going to look at that money in the cap and go, "We've got to pay somebody." And they, by the way, you can't say give it to Quinyon. You can't pay Quinyon yet, and you can't pay Cooper yet till the end of next season. So if you had to, you got to spend the money.
I can spend some money on a safety.
So which one do you bend? But no, that big money. There's a lot of money.
I know.
So if Howie said to you, Amy,
I got to pick one. It's Jalen Carter. There's no. I want to sign Jalen Carter. You asked me if there is
Okay,
any
so if you
reluctance.
had
There
to
is
do
some
one.
reluctance.
now I thought. Now see, here's where it's interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Jalen Hurts.
No.
Okay. If I said to you, Howie's
If
by,
I get
by
one
Amy's
choice,
scenario, if I said to you one, you
guy
have to
that's-
sign Carter or Hurts.
It's the guy that's the number one in his position.
All right, Jalen Carter.
Connor.
Yeah, it's Carter easily for me.
Well, you guys are all. I hesitated on it. I said Carter, but I swear to you, it was like 55-45.
Jalen
Wow.
Carter is arguably the best at his position.
Okay,
Jalen Hurts is not.
You don't have a quarterback in the NFL. You have no chance to win.
I got you.
And the quarterback market sucks.
Yeah, but the bar
Sucks.
for a quarterback is higher than a defensive tackle. He's not the leader of that defense.
Yeah.
He may be the best player, but
No, he's not the leader.
Yeah.
No.
No.
And-
I'm going
and-
to pay
and-
you $60 million. You better learn how to lead.
heavy
Yeah,
is
gotta
the head
find
that
a-
Or
wears the
take your
crown.
game to another level, which he's already pretty good. All right, so here are my yes or no questions.
Okay.
Will Jalen Carter be paid before week 1? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, you guys without hesitation. John?
Yes.
All right.
Not even a. Jalen Carter will be paid before Jalen Hurts.
Will
yeah.
Bryce Harper make the All-Star team?
Yes. As an alternate.
Yes, because it's in Philadelphia.
As an alternate.
Oh,
But right
interesting.
now, the way he's going right, if 2 more weeks like this, he might not. Because it's right now he's not even having his average season right now.
I'm going to go yes because of the location.
All right. Will there be a draft day trade for the Sixers?
No.
No, because it didn't sound like it listening to him, Gansey on with John Marks.
They
and
don't
Sean
have
Bass.
enough to trade
They don't
up.
have anything. Yeah, they don't.
And I don't
I'm
know
not saying trade up. Just trade. Like
just like a random person
Anthony
comes
Melton.
here.
You know, like
a draft.
you know what?
Draft day.
Oh, a trade that happens on draft day, not concerning the draft necessarily.
Yeah, that
Like,
helps his team.
Another human's gone and another human is coming
Yeah.
in. You know what? I'll say. I kind of want to say yes, but I'll still say no.
Because there's the Giannis. I'm not saying for Giannis, but 14 trades. Who knows what the hell goes down with Giannis? There's I
you
imagine
have to
there's
be
a lot of
included
moving
in
parts.
something.
Will Juan Soto become a hated Met?
Yes.
Yes, he already is. Juan Soto was already hated before he became a Met.
I like him.
Why?
I love
he's
his
really
talent.
good at the baseball.
I love his
He's
talent.
He is a lazy, nonchalant guy that just doesn't give a damn.
I'm going to say
take,
no.
Who I take in a second.
You know, he is. Wow.
Yes, 100%.
I would pay him the $700.
I also don't think he really wants to be there.
Well, that's
his own problem.
That's
his own-
disgusting.
That's his own problem.
That's
He signed
even
there.
worse. That's even worse that you
the Anthony Rendon disease.
You asked to be paid so much money and then you half-ass it.
By the way,
he literally for like 4 years was like the best pure hitter in all of
By the way,
baseball.
part of that question is if they stink, who do you hate on teams that stink?
You can still hate a team that's. What do you
No,
mean?
I hate the team, but like, is there anybody on the Mets that you're gonna hate if they are under 500 every year?
Andrew, I'm here to warn you.
Yeah.
The Phillies, our team, has a lot more chance to stink long term than the Phillies than the Mets do.
All right. Will the biggest Phillies move be a reliever? Like the name?
No.
I think it will be.
Yes.
A reliever?
Yeah, I think the biggest name that they acquire will be a reliever. With the way Keller
I do
and
not.
Alvarado.
I do not.
Lastly, we've been playing the Ben drop today. Will Ben Simmons ever step foot at a Sixers game in his life? Ever?
No. Oh no.
Ever. And
Unless
it's
they play one at Wimbledon,
In Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, Xfinity Mobile Arena or whatever the next
No.
arena is.
No.
Will Ben Simmons
Wait, what if it's on the road?
No.
No,
yeah,
in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, not a shot.
I didn't
Not
think
a shot.
so.
He'd
either.
go to
I
a
don't think
Heat
so
game,
either.
maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
yeah.
he may go to a Sixers event that's
Which is,
not in
you
the
know,
city.
there will come a time where people will move on past that and they'll remember the good times because it's always happening. And it'll be 30 years from now and people are like, oh, remember Ben Simmons? And they would invite him back and people will be excited.
Yeah, there's
Do
gonna
you
be
have a kind edge to you that can show up, and then you have a sharp edge to you that can show up.
Usually consider.
You got a
I
coin. You got a
because
coin side to you.
people will also look
What's
at
that
the
villain on Batman? That's because Amy's
Oh,
got it.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
Amy's got it. Like Amy can go. She can go real kind. Like that was very kind towards Ben Simmons.
Some kid will look at his stats and
Yeah,
go,
oh,
"Wow,
this guy was really
This
good.
guy's
What
really
happened
good."
to
And if
him?
Cooper does it, tell him he's going to bed without his supper.
No. Coop will understand that Ben Simmons is an enemy of the house.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
He will never step foot in Philadelphia on the
All
court.
right, coming up next, we have some major fandom questions that need to be addressed today. Both people in-house here at 97.5 The Fanatic. That comes your way next.
All right, let me tell you about the world's biggest soccer tournament because it's arrived. It's rolling right along, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every single match from the opening stage all the way to the final, and you know who plays today? USA is back in action, but Christian Pulisic might not be available. If you want to trade Australia, if you want to be a traitor to your nation, Australia is trading at an 18% probability to win the match over the US of A, meaning a $100 trade pays out $525. But come on, I know what you want to do. You want to trade on the USA side. They've got a 62% chance to win today's match, meaning $100 would win you $157 when the Stars and Stripes finds a way to victory again. The best part about Kalshi is you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. So maybe you want to trade on Australia now, and before the 3 p.m. kickoff, you flip over to the USA side. You can do all of that. And for a limited time, download the Kalshi app and make sure you use code Fanatic to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi. That's Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Ricky Bottalico.
Game. That's a good organization. Now they have a new head coach coming in, and I like Lamar. The dude just needs to get to a Super Bowl. Period.
He hasn't won one.
He doesn't want to. Wait, are you crazy? And when people talk about Justin Herbert nationally, oh my God, Justin Herbert, what a great quarterback, what a great player. Even the one time we were talking about him on the air after he lost the playoff game, it was like, oh, that's the offensive line. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But like, where are the details on Jalen Hurts? The only details we worry about are Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson gets a little bit of it.
You know the saying up the creek
without a paddle?
Yeah. I love how everybody's like, go get Mike Trout, go get this guy, go get that guy, go get Christian Walker. What the hell are you going to trade for him?
Well, then that leads me to my next question for you.
Unbelievable.
When you look at their top 10 prospects,
yep,
talking about the Phillies, Aiden Miller's still ranked number 1, although he's hurt. And number 2, quickly rising up the ranks, is Gage Wood. Would either one of those guys be untouchable for you at this deadline if it meant you could get that impact outfielder? Would you trade Gage Wood? Would you trade Aiden Miller? Because here's where I am, Ricky, before you answer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very concerned about the future of the Philadelphia Phillies, right? I'm very concerned that the farm system has been depleted. But at the same time, I don't believe it's going to be Gage Wood that's going to make or break this team 3 or 4 years from now. Because guess what happens 3 or 4 years from now? You got a lot of old guys on this team.
And
so you need to go all in now because it's your best chance in the next 5 years. If they don't go all in at this deadline and do everything possible to fix this lineup or fix the back end of the bullpen before Duran, maybe even get another starter, you're not going to win a World Series. And if you don't win a World Series this season, there could be a lockout next year. You might not have Zach Wheeler in 2028. Harper's going to be 2 years older. Schwarber's going to be 2 years older. Realmuto's going to be 2 years older. Trey Turner's going to be 2 years older. Like, you see where if you don't do it this year, the future does not look bright for the Philadelphia Phillies, and you don't have any prospects that are coming to save the day. So it's weird because I'm not sure, even if they go out at the deadline and they get an impact bat in the outfield or they get another reliever, that they're even going to be good enough to beat the Dodgers at that point. But I think you are forced, if you're Dombrowski, to at least try.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 8:49 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, we have to address some fan stuff. Real quick, we have Ask Me Anything today to close out the show, as we do every Friday with Fadul. Amy Fadul in studio with us. Last segment, we do Ask Me Anything. We are busy in the 9 o'clock hour. We have Kevin Nagandi to start the hour. We have Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad to talk some World Cup.
Wait a minute, double Kincade in the 9 o'clock hour?
At 9:30. Double Kincade, double Kevin.
That's
we have Kevin Nagandi,
double Kevin,
Kincade.
double Kincade.
So start sending in your questions now before I forget to ask for them. Thank you, Connor, for reminding me. Ask Me Anything comes your way at 9:47 today. All right, Connor Thomas, we start with you.
Hi.
Is it a violation, and I'm mainly asking Amy Fadul, who's in studio with us, to wear a polo of a college that you have absolutely zero association with and not even like
Not even like as a fan.
Not even like the I'm a Duke fan, even though you
mean
never
like-
went
Right.
to the
You
air.
mean like Gunner and the other Delco people who are like Notre Dame,
Well, no,
Yes.
like they at
Walmart
least like
alumni?
they've always cheered for that fan base.
Yeah, they're Walmart alumni.
Connor
they-
has never cheered for
Have you ever
Kentucky.
been? Have you been to the state? Have you ever been to the Bluegrass?
I don't think so.
God, it's a beautiful state.
Never
So,
been.
It's
as
a
somebody who
beautiful state.
attended and loves, I'm sure you would appreciate seeing the logo
I was
and
very.
the colors.
You saw me. I walked in. I was like, "Hey!"
But should he?
But my first
should
thought was
he
like, "Why
own
is
that?
he wearing that?"
Should he even own that
No.
that polo?
It's a beautiful thing. His
Listen,
mom did.
we appreciate the support, but my first
I
thought
got
was
you.
like, "How? Why do you have that on?" I was searching my brain for like something that Connor could have done that would have related to Kentucky in some way, and I appreciate the support
Yes.
because I think it comes from a good place.
Yeah, I didn't purchase it. If I had bought it myself, I think that's a different story.
I would have questions.
My mom was traveling for work, and she was in Kentucky, and she just got us golf
There's-
polos, my
well,
brother
there-
and I.
And
Oddly enough, you could find that polo a lot more readily than the silly bird with teeth polo. So
and your
it's just a
mama
stupid
is and your
mascot.
mama's lovely, and she was doing a nice thing.
And it's a
for you.
beautiful, it's
That-
a
and
beautiful
it's
shirt.
a nice looking
It's a lovely
shirt.
royal blue.
But I would never wear
Kentucky blue.
another university's shirt.
I also have a Memphis.
Also
golf
probably
polo.
royal blue. Is that royal blue?
really
as well?
Hysterical.
Also
Yeah,
blue.
she got it for me when she went there.
You're a big
Okay,
D
that's
Rose
good.
She saw
fan.
those
I don't know.
and
She
said,
just sees sports stuff and just gets it for me.
I
I'm like, thank
appreciate
you, Mom.
that.
I appreciate
There
you.
you go.
All right, now there's
Well, the Connor was D3 too.
that's true.
So
That's true. He's got no allegiance.
She sees D1
Yeah.
schools and says, "My son could have gone to a
You're
D1
right.
school."
You don't have
maybe."
allegiances.
I got
You're a
like
free
4
agent.
Washington College
You're a
polos.
D1
They're
free
well
agent.
represented.
Yeah.
The other one, and this one's even more damning. And I'm trying to figure out how to say because I want to be as respectful as possible because I love this man.
We love this guy.
Great guy.
When I first met him, I said it on the air. Literally, we met him in the hallway, and we came on the air following the commercial break. And I said, I just met probably the kindest person ever.
As soon as I met him, I was like, he
Connor's
is
the
super
kindest.
nice. Just a very kind,
He's a sweet guy.
Our own Shukri
generous-hearted.
writes.
But we're
Shukri, you
gonna,
can hear.
take him out at the knees.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like how you said, like, I'm going to try to be respectful when you're getting ready to be completely
No,
disrespectful.
So
we're going to take him out at the knees.
Shukri, you hear him
And
on the
we love him.
weekends. He's a big help behind the scenes here. Very talented. He's bounced around from city to city in this industry. I need people to know.
Big markets. He's been in
first,
big markets.
Yes,
Yeah.
big markets.
Maybe some,
And we love him.
some of the biggest.
I need to
But-
say this now. It is okay that if you work in Philadelphia, that you're not a Philadelphia sports
Immediately,
fan.
because he just got here.
Yeah, he
Like,
just got here.
If you were here and then all of a sudden you leave, no one's going to be like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't like
Right.
become like whatever."
But here's the
You
problem.
can't attach yourself in 6 months.
Shukri was at the Knicks parade yesterday, which is fine because he is he born and raised New Yorker. So, yeah.
So if that's the DNA, that's okay.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
We love it. That would be totally understandable, totally okay. Nobody worked when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2018. I was already in Atlanta 20-some years as a sportscaster. The city of Atlanta acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Channel 2 on the news acknowledged that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, came to the studio and showed me doing
John
the
Kincaid's
my
lead
Eagles
story.
stuff. Because you just go and
Kevin
that's saying,
Kincade,
yeah, there it
perfect.
is.
Or Kevin Kincade. Kevin Nagati, perfect
Kevin
example.
Nagati, right. It's
Yes.
like it's okay. You're allowed to have your allegiances and never give them up.
Here's the problem. You mentioned the multiple big markets. He also worked in Boston.
Uh-huh.
And there are photos of him wearing Celtics gear.
See, this
I
is
just-
this is where
And,
it's a
and
problem.
I'm not putting anything out there that's not public because his Instagram account is public. There was a video of him last year when the Celtics beat the Knicks in a playoff game saying, "Go Celtics."
No,
They're not-
cackling,
not just go
cackling,
Celtics.
cackling.
Cackling
At
the Knicks.
at the
Knicks.
Knicks for losing.
So this is where
And it
the
was
violation
very important.
occurs.
He was cackling at the Knicks.
Yes.
Saying ha 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 ha, and he was doing the George Jefferson like the ha ha. ha.
He was doing the Stephen A. when the
Yeah,
Cowboys
It was
yes,
a far removed.
yes.
The Knicks.
Yes.
The Knicks.
We need to talk to him.
So Shukri needs a intervention
Intervention big time.
because you can't do that.
Because
No.
the most recent video, he's talking about my Knicks.
Yeah.
And that's the key, not my New York.
No. It
My
was the
Knicks.
Knicks last year lost, and now my Knicks
And
won.
you can't do that. If he was celebrating New York celebrating a championship, and it's my city that I grew up in. I'm happy for my city.
But I'm a Celtics fan.
I
and blah, blah,
totally
blah.
understand it, totally buy in. I don't buy this one.
We need
and Shukri's our man.
We need
I got to tell you, we're having an intervention on this one. We're having a Dr. Phil on this one.
Somebody right away just said we're terrible coworkers. It's all public. It's on Instagram.
It's not terrible. We're not terrible on this.
Saying.
And then I'm telling you, we're doing this.
It needs to be addressed. Can't do that, man.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, Kevin Nagandi will join us to start the 9 o'clock hour. Don't forget, busy 9 o'clock hour. Kevin at 9. Kevin Kincade, 9:30. And, of course, Ask Me Anything to close out the show. That all ahead here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Soto with some big swings. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped game 1 to the Mets 6-4 last night as Juan Soto homered twice for New York. Jose Alvarado allowing 3 runs in relief as his rough season has continued. Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. He was hit by another pitch. It's his second time in about a week leaving a game after being hit by a pitch. Jose Alvarado's struggles have been ongoing throughout the year. Don Mattingly talked about them after the game.
It was one of those games with Alvy. You feel better about him in a tighter game. Obviously tonight he had a couple chances, so I felt like you're in a good spot with him. I mean, the ball's coming out. It's not like he's down in velo or anything like that. We just got to get the ball to the right spots.
The Phillies have the day off today to make room for the World Cup match in South Philadelphia. They'll play Saturday and Sunday to round out the Mets series. Christopher Sanchez goes tomorrow. Wheeler in Game 3. Brazil takes on Haiti in the aforementioned World Cup game in Philly tonight, 8:30 p.m. kickoff. Team USA faces Australia out in Seattle at 3 p.m. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers hold pick number 22 overall, and the NHL draft starts next Friday night with the Flyers drafting at 21. Wyndham Clark currently leads the U.S. Open after one day at Shinnecock, 6 under his score. Didn't mean to cut you 3 strokes there, Wyndham. Kevin Nagandi joins us coming up next. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better rest? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts match you with the perfect bed at the July 4th sale. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the
Should the Phillies trade for Mike Trout? Should the Phillies trade for Scooble? Because you know what? Here, kids, the Phillies don't have what it takes to get either player. Spoiler alert, they don't have the quality of talent that it would take to get the 2 most sought-after players that could be available at the trade deadline. Now, there will be a lot of gas bags in this market. Hopefully they're not in this building that will tell you, oh, they should go get Scooble. They should go get Mike Trout. They can't get Mike Trout. Here's the reason. The Phillies have problems right now. Can they go to their minor league system and go get some top prospects? Somebody to call up that everybody would say, hey, this could solve a problem? Andrew was just talking about it. Hell no. It looks like the picked over shelves at a Giant the day before a blizzard. They got nobody. Nobody's coming to save the day from the minor league system. There is nothing coming to help the problem. So if you don't have prospects that are ready to come up and ready to help you at the major league level, how do you think you are going to be able to get one of the top pitchers on the market or top players on the market? Especially one of the top players on the market who has every opportunity in his entire career.
We know you want to hear more of what Andrew and John have to say. Don't worry, we will. But first, let's hear what they got into earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
Last night wasn't fun. Phillies losing the Mets last night. Johnny, 6-4.
It started out so well, too.
Aaron Nola settled in, but early on, Juan Soto was like, yeah, I'm going to hit a home run right away. and then he gives up another run early on. Final line yesterday, 5 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and a walk. So he settles in after giving up the 2 early runs, which, credit to him for doing that. But it's just another day where back-to-back days, you're watching the starting pitcher just getting rocked in the first inning. Connor, you mentioned that the Phillies are potentially stuck earlier this week, and it's been something that's been on John's mind pretty much all week long.
It bothered me.
I think you lost sleep over it.
No, I did. It bothered me all week.
And we all know, whatever year it is, it's the same freaking thing. What do they need at the deadline? Well, they need a right-handed bat. They probably need a back end of the rotation starter. They might need another arm in the bullpen. That's 3 things that they need, again, year in, year out.
Honestly, I hate your wording, Connor. I hate thinking that they're stuck.
What do you want me to do?
No.
I can't unstick them.
No, honestly, I think your wording is completely accurate, but it sort of pisses me off as a fan.
Now back to the show.
That's some of what we talked about today. A lot of Phillies, Jalen Carter discussion, random yes or no questions that I threw at John and Amy and Connor. But joining us now to begin our very busy 9 o'clock hour, we have dueling Kevins. We have dueling Kincades. We have Kevin Nagandi here. We have Kevin Kincade at 9:30. We've Ask Me Amy thing at 9:47. Joining us now from ESPN, our man Kevin Nagandi. Kevin, good morning. Hello.
All that pre.
Good morning, guys.
There he
Hey,
is.
Kevin.
I was worried.
How you
I didn't
doing?
hear you. Hey,
What's up, Kev?
Hey, Kev. I'm going to start off this interview in just a way that you're going to absolutely love. Connor, can you play the drop that I asked you to play earlier? Kevin, this is the voice of Ben Simmons.
We lost. It sucks. I am who I am. It is what it is.
I am who I am. It is what it is.
Oh, Kevin doesn't like that one.
Kevin, I smoke a lot of weed, so my brain works in mysterious ways. What if I said that about the Phillies? They are who they are. It is what it is. They're good. They're World Series contenders, but you just think that they're going to lose every October. What do you think about that?
I think that's fair. I think that's you're protecting yourself. You're using enough previous experiences to come to an analysis, so you are protecting yourself in October, or let's say late September they make a run. But by the way, I think sometimes we're a little fooled here. We, as a fan base, completely forgot where we were, I want to say, in like August of 2022. We were all pulling our hair. They got hot in September, and then boom, that Cardinals series, and it's like, oh no. And then what happened with the break? Oh no. And it was lightning in a bottle. I think it's a fair assessment that we are in the same spot. And guess what? If you're a Sixers fan, you'll probably ask them the same question sometime in September and October, right? Like there's some things that have not been resolved, and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And unfortunately, with Garcia being out and the unknown with Painter, feels like it's like deja vu all over again.
I can tell you right now, watching that team, Kev, as frustrating it is night after night, in the back of my head, I keep thinking they're going to have like a 20-5 stretch in them, where they're going to go on a run where late July, August, where they get really hot. This pitching's going to carry them, and the bats are going to be rolling, and then we're going to be thinking, man, this team's putting it all together. And so I just keep waiting for that moment. Are you of the belief that a moment like that's coming?
Yes, just because how the schedule breaks, right? When you hit the dog days and if there's a hot hitter. I mean, Schwarber got super hot last year, and then you can carry that momentum. Yes, especially when you have Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler at the top of your pitching rotation, and then Jesus right there as well. So, yeah, I think that that's feasible, that you could string together, 3, 4, 5 series that you win, and in between that is like a couple of 5-6 game winning streaks. Yes, I do. I think that's fair. I think also when you look at the rest of the, when you look at the National League, I don't think anybody's buying the Brewers, but the one thing the Brewers have are 2 aces. They have a certain way where they go, they don't have to have a starter go 5 full innings, right? They have a certain way to figure it out. The Cubs are reeling. I think the Braves, what they did was they took advantage of everybody in the beginning with that hot start to build the lead that they have. And the Dodgers right now are still trying to figure things out with Shohei because Shohei plays both positions, and his goal is to win a Cy Young. So as a result, his bat's kind of taken away. And Tucker hasn't played as well as you would expect when you're going to give him that contract. So I think that it feels there's certain things that are a little wide open and in play, and they'll scuffle. They'll find a way to get to the wild card, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if you get a couple of games, you could steal a couple of games in the postseason. But I think you're being realistic as the way this conversation started at the beginning. Like, if you get to round 2 and then see what happens, let's see what happens. I do have concerns, but it's the same concerns that we've had entering the season. It's the same concerns we had last postseason.
Yeah, I mean, and Kevin, when you're looking at the same concerns are, lack of some power out in the outfield, right-handed bats, and then maybe a bit of the bullpen. So that brings the question of which of those problems do you solve at the trade deadline? Do you prioritize one of those over another?
I mean, that's a really good question. What?
A great reliever would help you, but then it's like, maybe you want to.
Keller's been killing us, right?
Yeah.
And Banks, that's the stuff that you didn't want to worry about.
Yep.
Here's the problem. When you look at the depth and you look at the farm system, what options do you have to be able to upgrade not just one, but try to get greedy and get to 2 spots? And that's the problem. Like, whatever you're going to get, do you go all in on one position? Or I don't know if they'll have enough. I would go after Buxton as much as possible. I would do everything I can to try to go get Buxton.
You got to talk him into wanting to leave, though, and he doesn't want to leave.
That's an issue. His price tag is great. Who knows where the Twins are? But you're 100% right. That's the guy that I would target before this deadline to think of packages and find a way and figure it out. The one thing I think the Phillies have made a mistake or two on is overvaluing their minor leagues, and the reason why they've had to do that is because they pay so much money and then you hit the tax, and they don't want to do that. So as a result, they want cheaper guys and more of a youth movement. But the window is you've got to figure out the veterans right now to win now. And it would be really nice if Trey Turner actually, met the moment in his contract.
He's the reason why we've been having these conversations about right-handed bats. If he just played the way he was as advertised, the way he did with the Nationals, the way he did with the Dodgers, we're not having the same conversations or the same level of conversation. Kevin Nagandi of ESPN joining us here on Kincade Salciunas. The other thing we got into today was the Jalen Carter contract talks. Albert Breer, Sports Illustrated, basically saying that they're not necessarily close. John and I both say we would sign him today if both parties could agree. Amy is willing to be a little bit more patient because there are obviously questions about Jalen Carter, not necessarily from a talent standpoint, but, everything else. How would you handle these negotiations, Kevin?
I would be in no rush. Now, I would explain to him, hey, we want you here. We want to keep you here. We want to make sure you and Jordan are the front line and the face of this defensive line for years to come. But I would be in no rush to sign him to a long-term deal, especially when this is his 4th year. You got the 5th year, and then you could franchise tag him. So you have some control here to figure things out. And then I don't think Howie's done, guys, in trying to get a star and a big name. I really don't think so. So I would make sure that if the star that you're targeting is traded, then you try to sign Jalen Carter, or you wait and then you try to get the star that you want on that defensive line.
Is that Max Crosby that you're talking about?
And then potentially you can dangle a guy like Jalen Carter. That's kind of how I would approach things if I were the Eagles. And I think Max Crosby can be had.
Who do they think they're going to get Crosby for if you're not trading Jalen Carter?
That's what I'm saying.
You're giving up. You're saying it, and so I'm going to give up 6 years. I hear the Max Crosby talk. So I'm going to give up 6 years of Jalen Carter. Because Crosby's older and he's beaten up. Like I don't understand what Eagles fans want. I really don't. And by the way, it's been nothing but talked about here this week.
You have a window of the next 2 years to try to win. And at the same time, you mentioned being beaten up. Jalen Carter had that shoulder surgery. Let's not forget about that. It takes a heck of a lot of beating there at the defensive line. Listen, I think Jalen Carter could be the most dominant player in the entire league, especially at his position. It's a question of you have to make sure he understands that just because we're going to try to pay you doesn't mean you stop pushing to be better and better and better. And for certain guys, you've got to do that. You've got to dangle the carrot and say, listen, and they've been around Jalen Carter enough to know that, hey, we cannot afford to have you take your foot off the gas when it comes to training, staying in shape, and making sure you're an impact player at all times.
I heard
They
that's
can't
what
afford it.
ESPN did with you, your last contract. They dangled it.
Nah.
Hey, John, it worked. It worked.
did work.
But that's a
It did work.
surefire thing. You lock up Kevin Negandhi as quickly as you can.
No, they dangled it, though. They made him go for it. They pushed it.
They were worried about his work ethic and all that.
Yeah, it
Not
was
a
tough.
chance. That man
Attitude.
is on air every
Attitude.
single day.
No, they said, we need you for more events.
Exactly. But we're not going to pay you
I've had to
anymore.
trim down some events as I do the NBA draft next week.
That's
I had an event
amazing.
this weekend that I can't do because I'm coaching my son in Little League Baseball.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I've
that's
got
awesome.
A bunch of stuff with the ESPYs and Fanatics Fest. And this is supposed to be my off
Is it,
season before football.
Is it
So,
district tournament time? What baseball?
District tournament
That's what I
time,
thought. We've got
yeah.
ours next week too.
Now, is he
Yeah.
still pitching? Is pitching up a storm?
Oh my God, yeah, and he mixes his pitches really well, man. He understands how to pitch. He understands that your fastball suddenly looks a lot faster if you can locate the slider and the curveball, and like there was his last. We had a scrimmage a couple days ago. His last batter. I do not do this. The team we played had a gun. So just understand, I do not bring a radar gun. I do not believe in the radar guns for a 12-year-old because I think that you've got to learn how to pitch and use your lower body and not arm throw. So one thing he did that I loved is he threw a 48-mile-per-hour curveball to start the at-bat that it got the guy looking.
Oh, he's
just
pitching
because
backwards.
he has movement on it, right?
Nice.
Then he goes to a slider, and that goes at 53. Then he goes to a changeup at 51, and then he shuts the door to 58-mile-per-hour fastball. That suddenly that looks like it's in the low 60s because he is set the hitter up.
Wow.
And I told him, I was like, you can get the 61 if you want, but understand that if your curveball and your slider is working, suddenly that fastball looks like it's in the 60s.
Kevin, are
And
you
you're okay
calling
with that.
pitches from the dugout? Are you giving the catcher sign?
With my boy, I call pitches. I got a pitch com. You could do it in Little League, and we're working on a pitch com with my catcher.
This is
Yeah.
high-end stuff.
Do you realize
Well,
what you
listen.
just created?
That's amazing. Now
You
everyone
realize
here is
now-
like they're all going to Amazon, see how they can get their own.
No,
pitch com.
Andrew now is thinking,
Hey,
oh,
Coop
yes.
for Santa on his wish list.
I'm gonna
Can you
need to look
put
at this.
PitchCom on there, please?
But understand, guys, I want to make sure this audience understands this. Like, Little League allowed pitch comms last year.
That's incredible.
I want everybody to understand this. At the time, I was like, well, this is ridiculous. And last year in district play, I caught the opposing team stealing signs. I caught them. My son was going 3 innings, basically no-hit baseball. In
Little
the
League
4th
kids, what
inning,
are we
they
doing?
started hitting them, and they were stealing signs.
They were
I
banging a
caught it.
trash can. There's some guy. There was a
it was
dad.
a relay from the first base coach to the third base
That's
coach
ridiculous.
to home plate.
This is
Wow.
ridiculous.
So then I
So unfair.
basically told my son, let's make one adjustment here. They're getting it. He made the adjustment. He went 7 innings through 64 pitches and won on their turf. This is a team that went to the state championship. So the one thing I want to do is I want to make sure my team is prepared because of hopefully we face this team again and we are completely locked in and we understand what we're doing. I can't communicate to my son. I can communicate to the catcher with the signs, and we've got a
And
system.
he can relay it.
we'll figure
Wow.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can your son tell Andrew Painter how to spot a fastball?
4-seam.
Hey, listen, and you know what Painter's doing? And I know we're joking, like Painter's learning, and he's learning on the fly in the big leagues. If there's some mechanical things, I think the Phillies are doing the right thing. Send him back. Let's get him right mentally, and let's work on mechanics.
Yeah.
And for any pitcher, especially when the moment is a little bit too big, are you doing the right things mechanically, fundamentally? Let's get back to the fundamentals and build confidence off of that, and then come back so you make adjustments. I think the Phillies are doing the right thing, and I think our fan base is a little bit too hard on the young man.
I agree in the fact also that I feel like he has too many pitches right now to choose from, and it's almost like analysis paralysis. Come up back, hone in 4 pitches. You don't need 6 right now. You don't need 6 pitches right now. Hone in 4.
Unless you're a Nagandi. You can have like
This is the pitch com is just like just roll the wheel. So I agree. I agree with Kevin on that. I am so excited about this pitch com though. I'm excited to hear from you next week to hear how the games went though.
Kevin,
I feel
John
terrible
is
that I've hyped him up this way. I don't want to do that.
No, I'm excited for it's a team. We know it's a team.
Kevin, John is shaking his head. John is
as a former high school coach, I am dreading hearing this.
John is very bring a baseball bat.
I couldn't.
In the team
John
bag.
doesn't live in 2026.
I would tell you, I could. The thing I coached high school for 6 years, and if I could have just coached an orphanage,
but you had to send
if I could
carrier
coach an
pigeons to tell people
orphanage,
practice
I'd be back. No, it was
John,
the parents that made it awful.
You're 100% right, John. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on this whole thing. I had the same approach. But it's very much like the SEC mantra years ago. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And if other people are doing stuff where they are cheating, you've got to make sure your kids are prepared to handle situations. And listen, we're not cheating. We're following the rules. I heard that you could do that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with 2 guys and a catcher I trust, and we'll do it in certain games. But it's not like, I mean, John, I could open up the book and tell you some of the things like, I've heard shadow accounts on Game Changer.
Oh, yes.
Teams that we're facing that they do not put. They have one that you see publicly, and then they have one where only the parents and the coaches see,
Yes.
and they put it up there.
Really?
There's so many little league parents right now that heard him say that. They're like,
I swear to you, there are
game
so many guys who didn't succeed in life in sports that are living through their children. It's pathetic. That's what Jeff
Too
Frank.
many of them.
That's what Jeff Francourt's
did you guys hear
podcast
about
is
that
about.
Cooperstown team?
Yes.
Did you hear
It's
about
terrible.
that Cooperstown team last week?
Yes.
Where they were winning games 43-0, 35-3. They hit 128 home runs in 11 games.
Oh, my
This
God.
one kid hit 22 home runs, and there was another kid that batted 750.
I am 12.
I was at a basketball tournament the other day with my other son, and the team won 109-3.
Oh, my
Like, there are
God.
way
it's
too
ridiculous.
many
And
adults.
they'll enter the tournament as a
doing
B
this.
team.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
That's my favorite thing.
Yes.
We've all rolled up there.
Amy.
We're like, seriously, this is your B team.
It's the
Amy,
way it works.
you got me now. So my son's like travel team. Sorry, I know I'm going over. I know you got to pay.
It's
the bills.
okay.
My son's travel team. There's the 7th grade team because my son plays 8th grade. The 7th grade team was in the B bracket, and they played a team that was dunking. That had that fellas with like full-grown mustaches and beards, and they were losing their mind, and they dominated this team. The coach of our program doesn't make these decisions or calls, but the way they were showboating, at the end of the game, he was like, I need to see birth certificates. I need it. And guess what? Not one kid was in 7th grade.
Oh,
Of course
my
not.
Oh, my
God.
gosh.
Grade and
Facial
9th
hair for
graders.
Pete's sake.
It was the Golden State Warriors. That's
it was
amazing.
Danny Almonte.
Yeah,
times 85.
Kevin, listen,
Thanks,
man.
Kev.
We appreciate the time. Keep
See
us
you,
posted
buddy.
on the pitch com. Keep
Yes.
it charged.
I love it.
All right,
See you, buddy.
fellas. Take care, and Amy, take care.
There
So,
he is, Kevin
I'm
Nagandi.
worried now. I'm worried the Coop's going to end up. You're going to turn into one of these
Now,
dads.
Connor see me play baseball. I go, no batting glove.
Yeah.
I don't have a bat
My
bag.
favorite is
Okay,
you'll
because so
see,
Coop, I'm not going to see Coop rolling in because I'm checking in on this.
Nah.
We're going to be a distance apart, but I'm checking in on this kid.
No.
He's not going to be
What, you
showing up
leaving?
with his monogram golf,
There's-
his monogram bat bag.
it comes from the father. You see the father.
I know, and I see him, and he's very grounded. By the way, they're great parents. I can tell you this: the two of them make me smile all the
That's
time
so
about the
nice.
way they parent. So I'm just saying.
You'll go to a little league field and you'll see the pitcher still have his sliding mitt in his back pocket, and I'm like, "What
It's
are you?"
unbelievable. How about the chains?
Or sunglasses. And
How
I'm
about
like,
all the chains now?
well, chains is just that's
That's
swag
style.
look.
Sliding mitt in Little League is
The
Dude, I've seen a
sliding
catcher,
mitt.
and like the coach will come over and be like, "Son, you got your sliding mitt." He goes, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "You need it right now."
By the way, I thought Kevin was going to mention there was a baseball team that got in hot water the other day. because they were losing 3-0 in the fifth inning. 6-inning games, right? Fifth
Yeah.
inning, they're down 3-0. Kid gets on first base. They had him steal second. As the catcher stepped up to throw, the batter then swung the bat.
Oh,
Hit the catcher.
Oh.
And the umpire ruled it catcher's interference. Somehow, I don't
is
know
that-
how, because
How
the
is
catcher
that? How?
catcher
No.
caught the ball. They claimed that he was leaning toward the pitch to get the ball.
Well, you can't do that. Right?
It was like 2 seconds
This
afterward.
we're
Oh.
in Little League.
This third base coach purposely had his batter hit the catcher with a bat.
Right, to cause catcher's interference.
And now you had first and second, nobody.
That's
out.
terrible. That's
Stupid,
terrible.
man.
By the way, quick question to this.
Yes.
Do you, because this Bart made the other day, something I did and Bat used to do as a coach. If my team was up big, I would empty my bench in ice hockey. I would play my third liners and fourth liners a little.
Yeah.
But I never ever called off the dogs.
No, you want
We
them
would
to
always,
succeed,
if
too.
I had a chance, if
you
they
just
could
put the
score
other
14,
players
if they could score 14 goals, I never told them don't try to
Yeah.
score. And people would say your team runs up the score. And I'd be like, well, I'm not going to have the kids who don't get a lot of ice time.
That doesn't teach
Don't
them
try.
rules.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we want you to
get
go
in the
out
game,
there
you get in the
and
game.
not
You go in the
try.
game again. Stop my third liner. Stop the fourth liner.
Good work,
Okay,
Coach-
good.
Coach Kincade.
You guys are smart people.
Speaking of Kincade, coming up next, we have another one.
Oh, no.
I don't know if I can deal with it.
Two Kincades? No,
Kevin-
he's a very different Kincade.
Kevin Kincade from Crossing Broad will join us next to talk some footy. We got the FIFA World Cup and more. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's fall to the Mets. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Phillies dropped game 1 to the Mets 6-4 last night as Juan Soto homered twice for New York. Jose Alvarado allowed 3 runs out of the pen as his rough year has continued. Trey Turner also exited the game with a left calf contusion. His second time in about a week leaving the game after being hit by a pitch. Don Mattingly talked about it afterwards.
Well, they're calling it calf contusion towards the bottom where it starts getting in the Achilles. He was having trouble putting pressure, pushing off. Hopefully it's day off tomorrow. Hopefully he'll be good by the night game. We'll see.
Now, you might be wondering, why did the Phillies have a random Friday off day? Well, that's because the World Cup's in town. They'll finish off their series against the Mets on Saturday and Sunday. Christopher Sanchez goes Saturday. Wheeler on Sunday. Brazil takes on Haiti tonight, 8:30 p.m. down in South Philly. That's why the Phils are off. The second World Cup match of the tournament in Philadelphia. Team USA has their second match today against Australia at 3 p.m. out in Seattle. The NBA draft is just 4 days away. Sixers still looking at what to do with pick number 22. And the NHL draft, the Flyers are thinking about that with pick number 21. That starts Friday night. In golf, Wyndham Clark is currently leading the U.S. Open 6 under after 1 day at Shinnecock. We've got Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad joining us coming up next. This update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Need better rest? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts match you with the perfect bed. The July 4th sale, they make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
And has rejected it. Could have found his way here on his own and rejected it. Would rather play in anonymity in the shadow of Disneyland. No. What it is the Phillies don't have it. You know who does? The Dodgers, the Braves, the Yankees, other franchises who are contenders that are right now, by the way, teams that are better.
First of all, starting the tweet with sorry.
You can usually find me in the kitchen, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now,
Philly fans, like, what are you sorry about? Like, what do we need to be sorry about? Like, the New York Knicks fans who looked like absolute trash half of this finals, and I know it's not all of them, half of this finals doing the stuff they were doing in the streets, beating people up, doing all this ridiculous stuff, that, number one, we're supposed to feel good for them? Or how about the fans that came down to Xfinity Mobile Arena and they chanted bleep and bead as loud as they possibly could every single time they were in the building? We're supposed to feel good for them? And then even if they didn't do any of that stuff, even if they were the greatest fans in the world, we're Philadelphia. That's New York. New York looks down on this city. They've always looked down on this city. They've always accused us of being a second-rate city. We're supposed to feel good? Oh, but poor Knicks fans. They've waited since 1973, and if you don't appreciate that, you don't like sports. Get the hell out of here with that. I'm not going to feel good for these ridiculous Knicks fans. Do you think those Knicks fans felt good for Philadelphia in Super Bowl 52? Were they out on the street saying, wow, look how united the city of Philadelphia is. Yay, Philly. Yay. Come on with that stuff. Get out of here. And every fan is coming at Sealski, and they're right. Like, don't lecture the city of Philadelphia. With what we've had to put up with from New York, we're now supposed to be, yay, Knicks fans. Like, I appreciate what Brunson did and Josh Hart and Karl Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby. Like, I feel good for the players. I feel good for the players. They deserved it. They earned it. They're a likable team. But to sit here and lecture the Philadelphia fans that we're supposed to feel good for the Knicks fans? Come on, Mike.
So let's do that. Now, Andrew Salciunas has the day off today. It is not because of a clip that went viral from our show last week about Jalen Hurts. He's got regular vacation, but he was getting ripped because he said his number one question for the Eagles this year is about Jalen Hurts' performance at the quarterback position with the change in offense, Sean Mannion now taking over. What is your evaluation of that? Is that your number one question?
My number one question for this team this year would be if the offensive line can stay healthy and hold up. And it's not a very sexy question, right? Like, if the offensive line isn't healthy, we can't get Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens and Lane Johnson back to health. I don't care what plays Sean Mannion's calling. They're not going to have much of a chance. The offensive line has to be better. It has to be healthier. They've been the foundation of that team for so long. They've been responsible for so much success. We're talking about elite, all-time Eagle talents. So I don't say this in a critical way, but I say it in a way in which the offensive line has had to play through some injuries, and it's aging. And are they going to hold up and hold together? If they do, it's going to be a great season. If they don't, it's not. To me, that's where it starts.
think it was the San Luquito piece that came out with Carson Wentz, and
Oh yeah.
So there was a lot of defense of Carson. I guess what I'm saying is, independent of Carson Wentz, does it feel like the Eagles have Jalen Hurts' back after everything that's been put out there in the media and everything?
I mean, I don't feel like they've run the bus over him, but I do remember when the Carson Wentz article came out.
If you want to see their wonderful faces, check out youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
The final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to bagster.com.
All right, don't forget, coming up at 9:47, Ask Me anything. Ask Me Anything, Amy Fadul edition. Send in the questions. YouTube, I'll handle that. Text line, Davis Honda text line, Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. That will be Connor Thomas. So text them in 610-632-0975. But before we do that, we got to talk some World Cup, man. And so why wouldn't you go to the #1 World Cup expert in the world?
Did you say expert?
Expert.
And
that is Kevin Kincade from Crossing Broad. But before I ask him a question about soccer, John, I have to know, Kevin, was John's announcement that he's leaving the Fanatic big enough to be considered a big announcement?
Because we wanted to make sure,
Well, listen,
because you guys are very picky about what are big announcements.
Well, that's true, but if I'm correct, I don't think you teased that announcement, did you?
No,
there wasn't
we didn't.
Yeah.
we didn't.
So I think it was fine. Yeah, I think my beef with that was that there was a build up to the knockout tournament, and I felt deflated. But John kind of hit us with the news out of nowhere.
That was because I didn't want a Crossing Broad backlash.
Yeah, exactly, because he was worried that Kevin Kincade would write another big announcement
and I
that
did
wasn't
say it
that
on the
big.
air. I said laid flat, so it is go. So there it is.
Anyways.
Well, no, I will still, before you leave, though, I will still claim that breakfast burrito that I think you still owe me, actually.
Well, I think we can do that. We can have you in.
Wendy's breakfast burrito. We got to make that happen. All right, Kevin, we got World Cup action, yo. And as you know, I am a huge soccer fan. I've used terms like footy and pitch this week, so I'm locked in.
You've used them accurately, most important.
How does this level to the MLS? This style of talent? I'm kidding. No, this is. It's been a lot of fun. There are power rankings, believe it or not, that have dropped, and Team USA has made the power rankings. They were unranked previously. Now on ESPN, they're number 9. How real is Team USA after we saw their first match where they had a pretty good night?
Oh boy, they're a good team. They're a good team. They have good attacking pieces, as we saw in the first game. I think Australia is going to be a different kind of challenge, though. Australia was very defensive and organized and compact against Turkey, and they hit him on the counterattack a couple times, and the goalkeeper stood on his head. So it's going to be kind of one of those games where I think the Americans have a lot of possession, and it's going to be kind of on them to see if they can break down a team that's really, really structured defensively. And if they don't, they're going to swarm and try to win the ball back and try to prevent transition opportunities. Australia's got some speed. They can get out on the counterattack. They can do some damage with that. So, they're going to try to pen them in, try to hem them in, and try to be creative and try to dribble at guys and try to carve out some chances. And, I think they'll be okay as long as they're disciplined with that. As long as the Australian goaltender doesn't look like Dan Vladar in Game 6, I think they'll pull it off. I wouldn't put too much stock in power rankings after one game. We'll slow it up here a little bit,
Can I ask you about when one of your star players in a soccer match is obviously hampered with injury, even though he's supposedly Silk's going to be better today? Is the drop off of play so much worse that you can't put somebody in? Because the other day I heard that he was not even worthwhile being out there on the pitch because he was so hampered.
No, I mean unless that player is Lionel Messi, like 11 guys on the field. It's harder for. I think that's one of the things that Americans struggle with soccer is that superstars don't really take the game over unless they're at the top tier. Unless it's Messi or Mbappe or guys like that. This is not like Michael Jordan, dropping however many points he dropped during the flu game back in the 1990s. I think if they don't have Christian Pulisic today and they sit him, I think they'll be fine. They've got good attacking pieces, guys who run in behind and they try things and they take risks and they don't mind being creative, and they'll swap positions, kind of have a free role to kind of move around the field. And so I think they have a lot of pieces there, to the point where, like, you don't worry so much about him if Christian's not out there. I mean, of course you want him, but no, it's not like the Sixers having to reinvent how they play when Joel's not out there, or playing a completely different game with Tyrese running the show, so it's nothing like that. But of course you'd like to have him,
Do you think it'll be Aronson getting the call?
It could be. I mean, he would be a good choice for this.
Little union
he's
love
the guy
for everybody?
Yeah. And I remember, Amy, when you and I were the only two people at the Philadelphia Union
Exactly.
playoff game in Toronto in 2016. So we go way back. No, he would be a good choice. He'd be a good choice. He's played in systems, Philadelphia Union being one of them, where you get high up the field and you try to press and you try to win the ball back and you try to create chaos and stress for the other team up there, So, I mean, he would be a fit if you're assuming that Australia is going to do what they did in the first game, just park the bus, and just sit back there with a line of 5 and a line of 4, and dare people to try to get by him. So I think
exactly.
he'd be, So I think he'd be good for that for sure. But Serginho Dest, Anthony Robinson, Weston McKennie, Flo Balogun. The United States has guys who are attack-minded and who will try different things. I think that was probably the nicest part about the Paraguay game, is they didn't sit there and just pass, and wait for the perfect moment. I mean, they tried stuff. They went at him. They dribbled him, and I think that was appreciated by a casual American audience who thinks that soccer is boring and that they just kind of, dink the ball around or whatever. So they were very direct and very linear and very attack-minded, and hopefully that's what they come out and do today.
So that casual American that you just mentioned is Andrew Salciunas, and a lot of our listeners, as you can imagine. So you know how people do when there's like a trade in sports, like in baseball, somebody will put out the tweet, explain this in football terms for me. Can you explain in whatever terms, baseball, football, hockey, the Spain-Cape Verde tie 0-0, because I know that was like the biggest news. Like, oh, my God, how did that happen? Explain that in, I guess, common terms, how big of an upset that was, even though it was a draw.
Yeah, that's a good one. What was the team that was like 34-0 in college basketball this year? People were saying they shouldn't make the tournament.
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. So imagine they get like Duke in the first round and they push Duke to overtime. Maybe Duke ends up winning. Somebody's got to win, right? There are no draws, but that would be like that. It would be like them push. It would be like a 16 seed
UMBC
pushing a number 1 seed to. What was the team that beat Virginia a couple years ago?
UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yeah, Siena almost beat Duke this year. Speaking of Duke in that first round,
it's a tiny little country.
Yeah, by the way, there was a former Philadelphia Union midfielder played for Cape Verde all 90 minutes.
Well, that's why we're big Cape Verde fans here on Kincade Salciunas. All right, lastly, we know how much you love soccer, and the World Cup is fun regardless of where it's being played. But obviously the storyline here is the fact that it is in Philadelphia. Even if you're not a big soccer fan, it's cool to see Philadelphia center stage of the world. So some of your favorite, I guess, content pieces that you've seen online so far with people coming to this wonderful city?
Yeah, the Brazilians said that they've never seen a more beautiful city than Philadelphia, which makes me think that they may have never been to Rio before in their own country. But it was nice to hear those things. No, I mean, it's like when the World Cup was here in '94, there was no social media. I mean, we didn't have this kind of stuff, So we didn't have the video. We didn't have the stories of like the Ecuador fans putting the jersey on Rocky or the guy who went back with the cerveza and the fish stew to try to reverse the curse as an offering of hex breaking, right? So I just think it's good to see Philly in that kind of light, and see people experience it for the first time or in a different way or whatever, and all these positive things that are coming from it, and too all the people just traveling the United States and doing the different things, trying Buc-ee's for the first time, going to Walmart.
That is nice.
Yeah, exploring like the greatness that we have to offer in terms of like consumerism and diabetes and all that kind of stuff, So I think it's great. It's good to see, because sometimes maybe we don't appreciate, Philadelphia or the United States living over here full time. So it's been a nice breath of fresh air especially with the Phillies being just sort of whatever now,
All right, one last thing here. I said there was a lot of people that were giving us grief the other day because we didn't lead a Philadelphia sports talk show with soccer talk. And I found it preposterous that we would be leading with World Cup talk. The day the Joe Santoliquito article came out about Jalen Hurts and everything, that we're talking Eagles and we're talking the Hurts story. And people are like, I can't believe you're not talking about the Ivory Coast game and talking about the World Cup, which is here in our town. You, even a soccer enthusiast, realize soccer talk could potentially have a place in sports talk radio. But where do you believe it has a place on a mainstream morning drive sports talk radio show?
Well, I think like in when the Union are playing well and when they have earned media coverage, I think they're worth talking about. Last year when they won the Supporters Shield and they were in first
You
place.
think you'd
I
ever
think that
lead a
warranted
show
it.
with it?
Well, no, I mean,
On a Monday.
look, you know how I feel. You know how I feel about radio programming. Like I know that you have to play the hits, and that you're always going to talk Eagles first and Philly second, and you go to what's strongest for the, for the strongest crowd. But to use music terms, I mean, just because people like, Panama by Van Halen doesn't mean they also don't like Van Hagar too. I mean, I think there's room for it, but no, I would never expect anybody to lead a show with the Union or with the Ivory Coast or whatever. But you guys are on the air for 4 hours every morning. I mean, surely you can find 10 or 15 minutes for
we did today.
And we did
today with Kevin Kincade of Crossing
There we
Broad.
go.
We said we need our World Cup expert.
Will Team USA get to the round of 16?
Yes, I think they will. But
All right, I'll take that.
What about 8?
Well, let's.
What about the
No,
round
I
of
don't
8?
think so. I don't think they're one of the top 8 teams in the world. But I think you got to get.
I'll take
we'll
round
do a
of
sports
16.
talk radio thing. They have to get to the round of 16, or else it's a failure.
Yeah, agreed.
Is the manager
It's
on
one of the
the
best.
hot seat?
No.
He's Argentinian, right?
Should they pay the max salary
He
for?
knows soccer.
He's Argentinian, right? Our coach?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
Kevin
Mauricio Pochettino. Yeah.
Why can't we find an American to coach our team?
You
That's
want
what
him to
I'd like
play soccer, right?
Kevin
Yes,
was
exactly.
Kevin was
Okay.
busy.
There we
Kevin
go.
couldn't manage. All right,
Thanks.
Kev. We appreciate
Thanks,
the time,
Bye,
man.
Kevin.
All right, buddy.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Kevin Kincade from Crossing Broad.
They had Bruce Arena.
No,
He was very
I don't
successful.
want Bruce Arena back.
Well, he was good for a while.
Yeah, he was good for a while. Yeah, he was. I just think just would be good to have the American team coached by an American.
Why?
I'd rather see him win.
I just think
I would rather have him
I
coached
don't know.
by the
It's
best
an American.
coach.
It's a national event.
Did you want Will Ferrell to say, "Don't give the ball to the Italians"?
I would bet a Bruce.
Don't you want it to be coached by the best coach?
Well, I would think.
Oh,
that
you
it's- I would like to see it be that we developed enough of a system in this country that we now have a coaching system where we have a great American coaches.
Maybe the coaches aren't good.
I would know. I don't know enough. Does Brazil get coached by a Brazilian?
Not everybody is coached by their
That's what I'd like to
nationality.
know.
It's not true.
Or by or do we have to go to foreign countries to get our coaches?
There's Canadian baseball coaches.
Well, I don't want a Canadian, so I'm sorry. I lived through that,
All right, coming
and
up
I was
next.
awake for it.
We have Ask Me Anything.
Puerto Rican.
YouTube, I got you. Connor's got the Davis Honda
Venezuelan.
text line. Ask Me Anything comes your way next here on the Fanatic. All right, let's talk about FanDuel Sportsbook app, all right? On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So let's say you're betting on somebody with Team USA. Pulisic. How about that? He scores a goal or doesn't score a goal. That's your bet. Let's say Team USA is up 5-0. They pull him from the game, and you go, damn it, my bet is over. But wait, the guy that subs in is now your bet. That's what FanDuel does for you. It's awesome. That means you're still in it until the final whistle. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Damage control mode. I think they had Carson meeting with some reporters afterward to give his side of the story and clear the air. And I don't know if their reaction this time around is a result of that, like a byproduct of, do we really have to do this every time, because it's really not necessary, or if it's because they just don't. I don't think it's because of their relationship with Jalen Hurts right now. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think that it's Philly. This is going to happen. Stories are going to come out. It's been coming out even before Carson. So you have like different people in charge now too. It's not Doug Peterson and his crew anymore. So I don't. I thought Howie didn't do the greatest job of backing up Jalen Hurts, but I also didn't think he was like rolling the. Some people interpreted it as that's messaging from Howie. I didn't interpret it that way at all.
With Lamar, it's changed. You're right. But he's won the MVP and he's never made a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And Lamar's not 25 years old, right? Josh Allen, as far as I'm concerned, needs to start getting criticized. Because if you're going to hold everybody to the same standard, then guess what, Josh? You haven't been to a Super Bowl. It can't be the team's fault every time. Joe Burrow took a terrible organization to the Super Bowl, right? So Joe Burrow, just by going to a Super Bowl, kind of gets checked off that list. It's like, all right, you're not in the same. No, like Justin Herbert. I mean, what are we doing here? Justin Herbert's not in this rookie contract.
Nope.
Justin Herbert's lost how many big games?
A lot.
A lot, right? Is it all his fault? It doesn't matter if it's all his fault. It doesn't matter. It's the quarterback. And Justin Herbert, how many playoff games has Justin Herbert won? Has he? Has he won one?
Didn't he just win one?
I think he won one.
I know he threw a bunch of interceptions in that one game against Houston. That was a loss, obviously. And I think last year he was able to get a win, right? Let me pull that up.
All I'm saying is, at what point do these quarterbacks start getting criticized? Lamar Jackson's fair game. He's not winning the big game. That's a good organization. Now they have a new head coach coming in, and I like Lamar. The dude just needs to get to a Super Bowl. Period.
He hasn't won one.
He hasn't won it. Are you crazy? And when people talk about Justin Herbert nationally, oh my God, Justin Herbert, what a great quarterback, what a great player. Even the one time we were talking about him on the air. After he lost the playoff game, it was like, oh, that's the offensive line. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But like, where are the details on Jalen Hurts? The only details we worry about are Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson gets a little bit of it.
You know the saying up the creek
without a paddle?
Yeah. I love how everybody's like, go get Mike Trout, go get this guy, go get that guy, go get Christian Walker. What the hell are you going to trade for him?
Well, then that leads me to my next question for you.
Philly Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 9:48. Middays with Marks, Johnny Marks, Sean Brace, Nick Earnshaw producing, correct? I saw Nick. Is Ray unfiltered today?
I believe. No, Ray's Jamaica today.
He's in Jamaica.
That's right. Yeah, you know what? We talked about this a while ago. This is a bachelor party in Jamaica.
Okay.
And I think that's wrong.
Why? Why do you think? Well, first off, look, I understand.
That's an expensive
First of all,
trip.
bachelor
And
party.
you're the jerk if you don't go.
Bachelor party
It is the summer.
His buddies went to freaking Ibiza.
Dude,
that was fun.
But it's also
I told you
June.
before.
You should be able to go down the shore. It's a lot cheaper.
At some point, I told you, guys of your generation have become women. It's become, because this is what not bachelor parties were. Bachelor parties used to just be guys went out.
Yeah, but look,
It used to be guys just went out on a night. It wasn't a trip.
Here's
here's
the problem with the Jamaica thing, right?
No,
if it was
30 years ago, I know golf trips were absolutely a thing.
Yeah, that's
a trip.
You didn't go. You didn't pack a bag.
Yeah, they did. They
golf bag and a bag.
correct.
If the
That's two
term
bags.
bachelor party wasn't there, you have the opportunity to say, look, I would love to go. I just
Correct.
can't afford it. But once you throw in bachelor party and you're one of the good friends, you're like, crap.
Yes.
Gotta go.
The overwhelming
I gotta
bachelor
go.
party back in the early '90s and before was go out on it. You pick a night, and you went out. And
So were bachelorette parties.
And the women went out and did the same thing. And then it's become this social media thing. Now, Jamaica though, it's awesome.
No,
because
I'm
you're
not
at a
saying
place
it's
and
not.
it's
Right, but you could go there in December. In June, you don't have to get on a plane to find somewhere warm.
and everybody's safe.
You know, I just know you gotta pay a lot of money for this. All right, time now for Ask Me Anything.
Now it's time for
What else do you need to know?
Ask Me Anything.
Would you like to know more?
No, ask me anything.
Amy, our man Andrew on our YouTube chat has like 7 of them.
All right.
What?
I guess you can plead the 5th for this one.
Okay.
Have you ever been arrested?
Why would she plead the 5th?
Maybe she wouldn't want to talk about that stuff. She's literally
It would
talking about
already be known.
shanking.
It was a shiv.
It would be
Christian
known.
lady.
If
It was
she'd been arrested,
fashioned into a shiv, maybe. It's that's
you don't
just
think
a
Kevin
hypothetical.
Kincade would have dug it up?
All right,
hypothetical.
but earlier, Andrew was wondering, what is your least favorite household chore?
Laundry.
Correct answer.
I have a sign in there, and it's just like wash, yes, dry, yes, fold, eventually, iron, not a chance.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Yeah.
That's what. If iron, no, it just goes right back in the dryer. Fluff that thing up. Press it out.
Laundry.
That's awesome.
All right, Connor, we got on the Davis on the text line.
Hopefully nothing about laundry. It's the worst. For Ask Me Anything, Frank in Northeast Philly wants to know, I'm wondering which ballpark or stadium that Amy's never been to is number 1 on her wish list.
Oh, a ballpark or stadium. For me, the ballpark that I've never been to is San Francisco. I would love to go out to San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco. I've never been to their ballpark. The stadium would probably be for a game. I've been to a lot of them. Packers.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been to
Yeah,
one.
that's like the only one I've been to a lot, but that one I've never been to.
All right.
That's a good question.
If Bayless chimes in, if you were caught stealing a single item from a grocery store,
Not
What was
arrested.
Amy arrested?
what would be the most embarrassing thing to get caught with?
I could say this Jameis Winston, just say snow crab legs. But the most embarrassing thing, I don't know, maybe trying to like smuggle like a rack of like ribs. That would be pretty hilarious. You know what I mean? Like you just like start pulling it out. Like, how did you steal that? Like that would
great
be
answer,
That would be really
Amy.
embarrassing because I would see how
Family
you,
Feud.
like you know what I mean? You can't do this picture like they lift the
Yes.
shirt up and here comes this giant rack, full rack
Got
of
a
ribs.
rack of ribs.
All right. well,
Nice
How did you
rack.
get it there?
Nice rack.
Our guy Karate Mark checks in and says, 2 battles that my wife and I haven't agreed on in over 25 years. The first one here, does ketchup go in the fridge?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
after it's opened,
It's
it
written
is.
on the
I know
package.
people.
right
I know
on.
people who don't.
I have married into a family that is anti-fridge ketchup. Don't understand
It's
it.
on
Love
I grew
them.
up in the
package.
anti-
Love
Yeah,
the
but if you go
Canes.
to a restaurant, just sits there on the
It
table.
tells you to refrigerate it.
I know, but if you go to a diner,
What do you think?
those things have been there. And oh, by the way, the red ones where you just refill it, there's probably ketchup caked at the bottom that's been there since the Prohibition.
Yeah, and it's
This
still
tastes good.
Ketchup doesn't go
But
bad.
I just can't. I just can't.
Do you believe in
Well, that's
expiration
true.
dates?
There's a preservative in there that's probably not so good for them, but I'm sure it can. Yeah, I mean, it goes bad, but I am firmly ketchup. What was the other one that he wanted?
The other one was, is it Cheltenham or Sheltonham?
Oh, now this is it's like the same people that go, is it Wilkes-Barre or is it Wilkes-Barre?
Wilkes-Barre.
And you talk to people and they're like, either. I'm like, you got to pick one, friend. I believe it is Cheltenham.
I say Cheltenham.
Yeah, I think
Cheltenham.
it's a.
Oh, I go Chelt.
No, I think it's Cheltenham.
Do you believe in expiration dates?
Yeah.
On items?
But
Are
I
you-
feel
are
like
you
there's wiggle room.
There's
okay,
wiggle room.
so you really don't then.
I mean, oh, you mean like a hard and fast rule?
If you
No.
see an expiration date,
No.
do you throw it out?
No. If I
Okay.
see that today is June 19th and it expired on June 18th, I think goes in the fridge for a couple
I
more
have
days.
seasoning that expired 2 years ago.
No, you do not.
Yeah, and I still
By the
use
way,
it.
you're not supposed to do
Yeah,
that.
and you know what? I'm still standing
We
strong.
used seasoning one time.
I'm still standing.
Lisa uses seasoning.
Yes.
Everybody, that's
Damn
the
right.
key.
Oh, yeah, dude. Come on, man.
Dude, we used
we've all
some
been there.
that expired in '96.
Oh,
Ground
my God.
mustard.
Oh,
it was definitely
geez.
purchased before I was born. We used it in the 2010s. My
Oh,
mom
gosh.
keeps everything.
Okay, now that may be a little extreme. I'm talking about.
Don't you
like
get
a
the
wiggle
weevils
room.
in it, like the bugs?
Yeah, don't worry about it. That adds to it. Amy,
Protein.
Jay King wants to know, do you taste test grapes at the store
No.
before buying?
No.
Yes. I don't.
How do you not know what
that?
You
how-
taste test?
How do you not know what a grape tastes like?
Well, maybe this one tastes different.
You do
you
not
walk, you
take-
walk by, you
Stop
pop
it.
one real
No,
quick.
you do not do that.
Stop. Don't keep your hands off my food.
No, it's
That's
I'm only touching
disgusting.
the one that I eat.
Did
That's
you buy
disgusting. Did you buy
it?
it?
Did you buy it?
You can't buy a single grape.
You
Did you
can't
buy
eat
the
food
No,
you
did
didn't
you buy
buy.
the bag?
Into the
Oh.
food?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh my gosh! I've never
Everyone
understood
watch
this.
out where he goes
You
to the
don't
grocery
buy.
store.
You don't buy. You don't eat
Did I
food
take the
you
bite
didn't
of an
buy.
apple?
Yeah.
Oh, those are good
You
apples.
can eat
this
the
apple,
whole
yeah.
grape. You can't bite the apple.
Did I peel the
No.
orange and take one little wedge?
By the way,
Those are full fruits.
by the way, every oldster in Chester County does this. I watch it
How
all
do you not
the
know what a
time.
grape tastes like?
No,
Sitting,
you see,
eat-
is it
picking
crunchy?
picking.
Is it,
That's,
you
You
know?
can trust your grocer.
oh my gosh!
That's how you know you go to a good grocery. Oh, they have good produce. Not everybody goes around and be like,
That's
oh,
disgusting.
just touch everything.
All right, Tommy John has one, and you have 30 seconds to answer it.
Okay.
You're not. This is not in a negative, mean way.
Oh.
Who's the most intense person you ever worked with, and why is it Seth Joyner?
Seth is such a nice guy.
He is.
And it's so funny because I worked with him on the show after the show, and he would be like, why does everybody always talk? It was a social media show, so we would literally have interactions.
Yeah.
And so you would see the real time what people are saying about him. He's like, why does everybody think I'm mad? I'm like, have you seen your face?
Yeah.
He's like, and he'd be like, seriously, why? And I'm like, Seth, you never
Don't
never smile.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but that's just kind of the way I look. I'm like, and now we know.
Now we
It's
know.
the resting Seth face.
All right, Amy, you're the best.
Resting Seth face.
I guess we have to all go golf now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can
let's
I
do it.
dip out of this? Do I have to go?
Yeah, you got to go.
All right.
We got a tea time.
See you at the links. All right. Middays with Mark's
Thanks, guys.
next here on the Fanatic.